Hello, everybody. I hope you're all having a wonderful day so far. How are we all doing? Ah, the preseason's here. We get to play with new stuff. My lighting's all messed up for some reason. Go, shoo. Sometimes I get to chase away that light effect with my hand. Go, stop it. do you see that? Like, I don't get it. Zaz, it is lovely to see you again. How are you doing? You're in Moki mode. Ramus bullying Fed Darius. Aw, oh, jeez. Yeah, so I had to confess, guys, I haven't quite gotten the chance to play a lot on the new patch yet. But we are going to go, today we are going to go through the patch notes, right? We're going to read the patch notes. We're going to talk about my predictions for the next season. As a reminder to everybody watching, this is not the patch note show you go to when you want somebody who already has encyclopedic knowledge. This is the patch note show that you go to when you want to develop knowledge, right? We're not here to already know things. We're here to talk about how to learn things and how we can, like, we're going to make predictions and follow up on them later, right? Thank you. That was huge. I think Day 1 Kazante is, like, well over 10,000 views now, right? Which is absurd. Needless to say, everybody, shut the fuck up, Minoshi. Needless to say, there is a lot to talk about today. I mean, we're done talking about the actual patch. We're going to move on to some testing. So, guys, I'm going to come clean, like, right now. There is a non-zero chance that I end up jungling in competitive play this split. So, that means these changes are, like, really, really, really pertinent to me, right? I might end up being a jungler for a little bit. Tragic. Jungle roll is fun. Jungle roll and solo queue. We just beat it all before the game starts, right? Trust your own judgment. Yeah, I've already played. I spammed like 5 games of Viego last night. I know I said I wasn't streaming because I was busy, and I was busy, but then I got suckered into some stuff by friends. Right? I already can play Maokai. Maokai's in my pool. What happened, Paradox? Oh, yeah. Well, actually, I would like to talk about that again when we get to the items, because, like, I was writing it off in our DMs. I was writing it off a lot, but maybe we shouldn't write it off just yet, because technically we haven't tried it. And maybe the mana isn't enough of a deal breaker. Like, I know it might feel bad next to your Manamune, but, like, maybe it's not a deal breaker. So, okay. Let's talk patch. We are actually just going to get everything ready here. Just anything that I might need to talk about things. Yeah, Jungle Mord is not bad right now. Jungle Darius, I think, is actually probably pretty good. I need to check his clear. Right. Dude, this is the loudest Sessions album. I am really glad Fiddlesticks is support viable. Let's just leave it at that, right? I'll try him again, but ooh. So, we're starting off pretty benign. We've got the Chemtech Drake, Chemtech Rift, Chemtech Soul. That's all back, and it is completely revamped. So, what we're going to do, guys, because I've played a lot on the PvE, I'm going to read the numbers very carefully just to make sure everything is in the state that I thought it would release in, right? Because I don't want to like share judgment and then discover that oh, wait a minute, it's changed. Like the numbers are not the same, because I think Jack Show is in a different state than it was before. We'll double check. Anyway, the Chemtech Drake. When the Chemtech Drake is below half HP, it gains damage resistance and deals more damage. This Drake will deal 100% total AD plus 4% of its target's health physical damage with each attack. If we remember, like, okay, I'm gonna wait to see how that one. I'm gonna wait to actually like encounter the Cloud Drake to see if it's one of those, like, some Drakes you take earlier, some Drakes you take later. This implies maybe you take it a little bit later, or like you need a better dragon opportunity. I mean, it's no mountain. Like, it's not mountain durability or anything. It's no old Cloud Drake. We're taking it alone with Suicide. This is really, 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 really appealing. Right? Do you know how healthy pets make early drakes? No, we don't. But it scales off your HP and your AD and your AP. So it probably doesn't actually make it that healthy early. Like, health is one thing, speed is another. And when something is consistently, like, threatening you with percent max health damage and, like, that steroid under half, right? No, they're not. So we did check them out. The pets no longer keep you full health 24/7. So the Ziggs jungle clear is a lot harder. The Draven jungle clear is a lot harder. The Mal's jungle clear looks awful. We'll keep trying things. But we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit. I'm going to try to keep my brain focused through today because we have so much to talk about. I will try that one, though. I will try Jin Jungle. Chemtech buff, needless to say, guys, is really, really, really good. Okay? 5% tenacity is appealing for literally everybody. 5% heal shield power is really good for a lot of champions. Like, think about how good, or like how many champions heal and how many champions cannot build a Forbidden Idol. Right? And remember how I said when Neela came out, like, yeah, I think we'll find comps that are optimized around her healing, because it's just really, really strong to give Aatrox a Forbidden Idol. And Neela was a walking Forbidden Idol on release. So, yes, it does. It does. If you have a Vladimir, this is awesome. If you have an Aatrox, this is awesome. Swain, awesome. Right? I think the Chemtech buff just looks like one of those buffs that's just hugely appealing. Hooray. Because like, I think it, I would imagine, we'll have to see if it plays out that way, I would imagine it goes into like the tier of Mountain and Hextech buffs. Because like those are the two Drakes that you really feel bad about giving up. Like you can give up an Infernal Drake, it's fine. You can really give up like a Cloud Drake and an Ocean Drake. If it's like the first Drake, it feels kind of bad to give up, but it's not that bad. It will be composition dependent to a degree, I suppose so, but like it's also tenacity, right? And you think about like Hextech Drake is a haste and attack speed. Everybody get benefits from that. Like I do actually disagree a bit. I think this will find value on most champions. Plus, imagine if, like, you know with absolute certainty you can secure this first Drake, and, like... no, I guess that wouldn't change your boot decisions at all. Yeah. Okay, either way, I think I would like to prioritize this highly, and this just... So, my hot take, ever since 12-14, was that the meta should be Dragon Aggro. I was adamant that the best way to play the game is just, like, mage supports, shove AD carry, like, stack some of these Drake buffs. Especially since, like, so now we have, like, 3 out of 6 of the Drakes in the game that are just, like, hugely good to get as first, too. And Ocean is also just really good on first, so... we'll see how the rest of the game plays out. Like, maybe the jungle meta is really bad for Dragon Aggro after this, but... it would be actually kind of fun. Chemtech Soul. Players receive a buff that gives 10% damage resistance and 10% more damage while below 50% health. Okay, percent damage reduction, or percent damage increases, are really, really broken in Heroes of the Storm, but haven't translated 100% to League of Legends, right? Even Shroud on paper looks like an amazing item, but in practice it just gets out damaged by a lot of other effects. I would be curious to see... This is less conditional. I'd be curious to see how frustrating this makes, like... Wait, doesn't this make, like, certain enchanter comps really broken? If you have the right team composition to optimize this thing, like Hypercarry Enchanter team fight, or... just like specific champions like Olaf or something, or who else would be really, really good with this? Death Dance users in general. Xante loves this. In that it may be situational, sure. I think the effect is a lot more meaningful than Clad Soul buff. Besides, don't forget, you still want this because it means you're stacking Chemtech Drakes. And Chemtech Drakes are insane. So, sure. I mean, we'll see how we end up interacting with this, like how we like it if it's first Drake, how we... I think it's in the tier that you just don't want to give these up for free. For sure. Okay, Chemtech Rift. This looks like it's going to be so much fun to play with, right? Gigafruits. Blast Cones are going to be horrifying. I think Firelight Bloom is kind of... Allies tagged will also gain movement speed towards that direction. Oh. So, I mean, like, it seems to me like this is supposed to... The Chemtech Rift was just kind of hostile before, but it had, like, that smog zone. But I think, like, this is a similar design, where they're trying to make Chemtech Rift inherently more hostile, but I guess since you know where the cones can be, like... I mean, you can still ward against it, is the thing. Chemtech Rift probably forces you to slow down a little bit. Like, really take your time on your vision setup. Although, actually, no, if you're the one using the Scryer's Blue on an, or the Blast Cone on an invade, you can actually take it a little more risky, right? I would disagree, actually, on a number of those souls, right? I do not agree that Infernal and Ocean decide games. Infernal is really good, like, especially if you're a siege comp, but... If you want to steal Drag Baron, you end up in the enemy. True! Oh my god, you can just do the Zac drive-by, you know, like the elastic slingshot smites? Okay, I'm not going to speak too much on the rifts because, like, Dragon strategy doesn't fundamentally change a lot when you introduce a new Drake. You just have to learn how that specific Drake works, so we're not going to make any major predictions. The Rift itself, like, this looks kind of volatile, but it looks like a lot of fun, and we'll see how it plays out, right? Here are the things that we can actually make predictions on, we can actually start talking about. Jungle changes. We're going to read all of this context just to make sure, like, we're approaching this correctly, right? One of the biggest changes you'll notice is that all the camps got their own little durability updates. Our goals with this update are to make it more of an investment for laners to take jungle camps, especially in the early game, keeping fast clear speeds fast, while making slow clear slightly less slow by shifting jungle DPS into companions and shifting some golden experience from the jungle itself into the new jungle items. On the other hand, we actually made Krugs a less durable camp by removing the 2 Krugs that spawned from the ancient Krug. Yeah, and we'll talk about that for sure. We've also made adjustments to, allow for more interesting early game pathing. Well, interesting is certainly a word for it, yeah. We've made quite a few adjustments to reduce how effectively both laners and enemy junglers can poach camps. The own side clearing strengths are to speed up how fast junglers can clear their own jungler while increasing opportunity cost of invading. The own side clearing strength change helps to tone down very early invades and vertical jungling, which, while interesting and powerful, is currently too reliant on your team's ability. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, objectively in solo queue, yes, but I mean, it's part of the skill expression of the role to know when to put your faith in your teammates. Okay, whatever. We have March for Death. We do not want counter jungle. We absolutely do want counter jungle in the game, and it should be an effective strategy, but the current state of it is far too strong and punishing, making it an incredibly miserable experience for those being invaded. Now, a paragraph just for scuttlers. Okay, yeah, they took off the shield, and they slowed it down. And then they did sustain too. Okay. Camps hurt more now, especially if you're a laner. Yes, Gromp is a menace if you're trying to take it as an 80 carry. So 80 carries are probably going to stop taking Gromp. On the flip side, Krugs are really, really, really easy to take. They are so easy to take right now, guys. Krugs just melt if you have any AoE. So we're almost like, I'm curious to see what happens. Like if we are starting to move into a direction where you just play to your red buff side. We'll have to see. Like I sincerely doubt we're going to enter a situation where it's like junglers take the same path every game. Right. But I haven't been playing myself, but I have been trying to watch as many like challenger streams as possible and like keep up with what's going on. And junglers have conflicting opinions on a lot of things. But the one stable factor is that red side is just way easier and faster to clear than blue side. So if you're a slow clearer and you start blue side and you start same side as your opponent, that opponent has like the easiest 12-16 invade of their life. If you start opposite sides, you're both on red buff. I mean, because then 12-16 is still a good option, right? You can just clear your own side, just walk straight in, right? It seems like a very good meta for like level 3 invade champions. Is what I'm like starting to see. Aggro range is small, but I'm finding that it's like there's just new ways to kite it out of its aggro range. I don't think there's going to be a lot of playing with like exiting and re-entering aggro range unless like maybe your early game Kindred. But at the very least, like, higher damage smites, and, like, it still makes it possible to kite things out of leash range and play with patience. Let's see what's going on. Marked for death. When a large monster dies, all small monsters in their camp will be marked for death. After 10 consecutive seconds of not being in combat with a champion, monsters that have been marked for death will die. What does this mean? This means that in games where one jungler is ganking far too much, taking their camp, you no longer have the option to leave one small one to deny resources. There were some games where if it went full vertical, you would never want to do that, because then you're just denying yourself resources because the enemy jungler isn't going to be moving up there. But it also means that, like, heavily ganking junglers don't have to, they don't have to revisit their camps to, like, get them cycling again. So this insinuates that it would be easier to camp a lane. What else would it insinuate? I'm just trying to think of the circumstances when leaving one is, like, really, really good. See, the problem is I don't have, like, 100% of the information on jungle. Right. Nope, that's here. That's in the game. But it's not doing less damage to enemies, it's doing more to your own. Yeah, exactly. It's what Jade said. We'll get to that soon, right? That's actually right here. Onside clearing strength. Junglers now deal 20% more damage from non-true damage sources to monsters on their own side of the map. The increased damage will not apply when invading. It's right here. We were about to talk about that next. What does this mean? Okay, invading is still really, really good. Or like, sorry, invading is, let me take a step back. Invading is still very possible. Invading and counter jungling is still probably like the best way to respond to somebody who is over ganking a lane. But I think all of this culminates in it just being harder to establish a CS lead over your enemy jungler. I need to get my cat. Are we hanging out again? Are we hanging out? Are we hanging out together? Hi. Hi, Anna. You're caught on my headphone cable. She's going to stand outside the door meowing the whole time if I don't let her in, so. Here she is. It's Anna! Precisely, yeah, if your super fast clearing champions did not rely on double camping, they are faster. technically, well, their camps are tankier. We'll get to it in a moment. The camps are tankier. We need to take all of this in before we can like really, really put it together, right? But anyway, back to invading. Invading is still a good option to deal with the enemy, like over ganking. It is harder to... Okay, it is significantly harder to... You know what? I think we're actually fine with this. Let me think about this. So, the one opening that I think gets the most nerfed is the one where you start enemy buff and take one of their quadrants while they're full clearing towards it and they don't recognize it's a vertical. But, like... That is slower, but the problem is that was not a very good opening anyway. Because guys, let's say here, let's just get some junglers out here, like any random junglers. Let's do Viego because I've been playing him, and let's do like who's a random jungler. I see Master Yi in chat. Here's Zolo Bomber playing Yi, and he's gonna be very upset, right? Okay, so like let's say Viego starts here, right? There was technically an opening where like you start red, Master. Okay, well actually it really can't be Master Yi. Hang on, we need a better one. We need a more generalist jungler. We need like an omnivore. Sure, let's use Vi. That's actually a decent one. Okay, let's use Vi. So there was an opening where, like, you start on enemy buff. They're here. You know for sure they don't have information of you, so it's like, you're just doing this. You take 2 camps. You leave to do your own, right? And then Vi walks over here and discovers, it's like, oh my god, my jungler's gone. Or my jungle's gone. But this opening kind of sucked, because all it meant is, like, what Viego would naturally do after doing this was to cross and defend his own camp so Vi couldn't take anything. And then would then cross back in here, so if Vi invaded, like, long term, then there would be a fight over it, maybe. But, like, what Vi would end up doing is just, like, the recovery method was you have infinite free time, fuck the camps, they're gone, just spam gank everything. Because Viego has to spend time clearing 3 quadrants now. So that opening already, like, kind of sucked because it didn't matter that the Vi... And then on top of that, Vi's camps just all respawn faster, so she eventually gets an econ lead on top of that, right? So really, like, that's the opening that I feel like gets nerfed the most from these changes. But that opening already kind of sucked. Like, the only late invade that was actually good was when you late invade for the purpose of killing someone. Oh yeah, and 12-16 is still good. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, we'll get to that, right? I just mean, like, I'm trying to come up with, like, the consequences of level 1s from specifically these 2 changes. Oh, and I guess we can also talk about this one. All monsters now heal, like, 23 plus, or 27 plus 3 divided by level, increased by a percentage of missing health, restore health, mana on takedown if you have a jungle companion. Only if you have a jungle companion. Okay, so poor 80 carries. I wonder if enemy Yasuo can windwall this. Or Samira. How funny would that be? What else gets nerfed by, like, not being able to leave something up here? I'm thinking, we had a comp game once, in VR. It was VRD, yeah. Yeah, it was definitely VRD. Where my jungler just picked Rammus and, like, tri-laned with us, pretty much. And then I, on Senna, like, eventually came back and, like, helped him to clear his camp so I could get souls and stuff, but that doesn't change this outcome. Like, these changes don't change the proper punish to what we did, which is to just keep farming this and never leave something, or you're denying yourself resources. You know what? This one did feel really bad in, like, Silver when people didn't know the right answer. So I think that's fine if they're just, like, trying to nerf that one, even though it wasn't a great strategy anyway. From a practical perspective, if you had a good counter jungle angle anyway, this isn't going to matter too much. If you had a late invade anyway, this isn't going to change anything. Where's my list of like jungle openers? It's not a comprehensive list. I'm just trying to think deeply. Like, we can't know everything yet. You could like split. Okay, so split mapping it kind of sucks a lot more now. Like, split mapping from level 1 sucks more. Where you just reveal you're going vertical. Five camping is different. Okay, we're gonna move on. We're gonna talk about the implications of like later things too. Lane minion experience. Junglers will only gain 75% experience from lane minions before their first pet evolution, unless the jungler is behind the average game level. Okay, there's gonna be numbers on that, and I really wish they had provided in the patch notes. Oh wait, no, just behind the average game level in general. That's all the numbers, right? Sure. You couldn't funnel early game anyway. This just sucks if your laner dies and you have to catch their wave. But I guess this is just preventing junglers from getting ahead from their their allies dying, but like, I don't know. It increases the punishment for laners dying. Okay. Large monster gold given to non-junglers has been reduced by 15. Okay. Large monster experience given to non-junglers has been reduced by 15, except for Ancient Krug, which is 12. Okay. Large monster is now given additional 15 if you have so it's a difference of 30 whether you're a jungler or not. This isn't going to stop laners from taking like raptors. This is going to stop laners from taking Gromp. And that. Okay. Everything is a Bork. AD is down. So blue sentinel deals less damage, but well, not really. AD is down, health is up. Don't forget there's also the smite changes. Gromp. This is fucking insane, given that Gromp still has its attack speed steroid. No, it's absolutely not stopping top laners from eating Krugs. Top lane and bot laners are going to eat Krugs. It's just Gromp is harder to eat. Ancient Krug now deals 3%, but it's only Ancient. Ancient Krugs. So, yeah, Krugs are lightning fast now. There's way fewer of these. So before, to my knowledge, 5 camp strategies existed because you wanted to just avoid doing Krugs, and you wanted to be on the map faster, because your champion was just too slow if you did Krugs. Now, if you're going to be 5 camping, low-key skip Gromp. Like, you should be skipping Gromp instead of Krugs. If you're going to skip a camp. If you have to choose, like... It does feel wrong, doesn't it? It does feel wrong. But it does the most damage. And, like, it is now the most time-consuming camp, I think. I mean, excluding buffs, but you don't skip buffs. So Krugs are fast as hell. They're a little bit tankier, whatever. Wolves, I mean, yeah. Raptors, it's still super easy. It's only... So none of the small ones are dealing extra damage, so you still want it, like... It is looking like... It is looking like the way that pets are set up. You almost always want to just hard DPS the big one for clear health. We're gonna find out for sure if that's true in a moment. Like once we're done reading the patch notes and we'll be testing things out. But I would assume, given like all of these like percent current health modifiers, that I guess it could matter, like, because the small ones, there's a bunch of them. No, in that case, I'm not confident enough to make a statement on that one. I'm gonna have to actually find out for myself before I say something. Okay, let's talk about the actual pets, because I was actually wrong about pets while we were on PBE. I misjudged the power of each one a little bit. So, before we get into this, don't trust anyone's opinion right now. We've got to check stuff. You have junglers saying green is the best. You have junglers saying green sucks and red is the best. You have some saying, like, I only go blue. It's like, no one knows what they're talking about yet. We have to try things, right? Jungle pets, what do they do? Okay, attacks. They will deal 20 plus 4% bonus HP plus 15% AP plus 10% AD. That's total AD, right? Not bonus AD. And they attack at a rate of 1 per second. After the owner has stopped attacking, they will attack 2 more times and then stop. So this is how we track it. Remember, these things can actually finish off your buffs, unlike the previous jungle burns. So if you want to hand it off, you just need to know when to stop attacking and the pet will naturally stop. Right. What animal is the blue one? I don't know. Let's find out. Companions will heal their owner for 70% of their damage dealt. Oh no, 70% of the above number. So you know what it was probably doing? Yes, total AD includes base AD. You know what this thing was doing, guys? I bet you on PBE originally these things were healing for damage dealt instead of just this number. Because it explicitly says this number, so if it hits multiple things, it's not healing you multiple times. Isn't he a good boy? They're all lovely. Damaging a camp from a distance will cause companions to a leap attack towards it, so they'll just never get lost. Right. Companions will provide their owners with an increased amount of regeneration. Okay, let me check something. We are now going to look up Hailblade. It's removed. How depressing is that? Regenerate up to 8 to 18 based on level mana per second while in the jungle or river based on missing mana. Why does it say up to a range? Oh, because it's level based. Duh. This one is 8% missing mana plus 8% missing mana times level divided by 1.3 times 0.1 while in the jungle. I'm not Desmosing this right now, guys. Never mind. Actually, we'll, like, let it go up to 1,000. I'm gonna, like, estimate it. Okay. Eight times percent missing mana. Okay. 8 times, so C is our current mana, and M is our missing mana, so to get, like, our maximum mana, so to get the percent missing mana, we would want, like... It's M minus C, right? Hang on. How do we do this again? I'm so stupid. How do we get percent missing? Wait, okay. Percent current is current minus maximum, right? So if I have 500, no. If I have 1,000 and I lose 600 mana, it's basically doubling by level 13. You know what? I'm just going to trust Minoshi. I'll crunch the numbers later when I'm not on stream and when I'm not stupid in the head. So it's more mana. Cool. Cool. Now, junglers didn't struggle with mana much before anyway, but this is just nice to know, like, roughly what it's doing, right? It's a linear growth with character level. Thank you, Minoshi. You've saved us again. Jungle companions will evolve twice. Okay, so you get treats. You feed it 1 treat per large monster or champion takedown. You get a bonus treat every 60 seconds before the final evolution form. You get a bonus treat every 90 seconds after the final wait, what? Why would I need a treat? Oh, when a large monster is killed with bonus treats available, players will receive 2 treats and 50 bonus gold. So you actually just... this is why you keep getting treats after it evolves, because it gives you a little bit of extra gold. So, does that actually increase jungle income long term? Because, like, the gold values of none of these have changed. Except maybe... Okay, Krugs are worth less gold, but that's all. That's the only one. But now you're just getting 50 bonus gold, like, periodically. So jungle income is up, guys. Jungle income is actually up. Oh, we've been new. We've been over that one. Krugs are lightning fast. It's ridiculous. Okay, interesting. Jungle income is up. Smite, first evolution, Smite goes from 600 to 900, and it's Chilling Smite. Then it's 1200. Then it gets an AoE like Season 5 Blasting Smite. So here are what the pets actually do. The Moss Stomper is the green one. 75 to 330 health shield after killing a monster or after 10 seconds out of combat. You can have this for every fight. So at level 18, you'll just have like effectively plus 330 HP in a fight. The shield will remain indefinitely. Players will gain 20% tenacity and slow resist while the shield is present and for 3 seconds after it is broken. I would like to point out that this does scale with Chemtech Drake buff. So, yeah, this protection buff is on all of these. My take on Moss Stomper is that it looks like... I thought originally it'd be just really good for tanks, right? But who's to say a carry can't build this? Like, we'll be testing it to see if it's worth it. But, I mean, Graves might like this. I genuinely don't... like, let's say we're playing Master Yi, right? Because I'm always looking for ways to make, like, Master Yi competitively viable, because I do think he has compositions. Does Master Yi truly need the extra damage? Because I would argue no. We'll look into it, right? Exactly, yeah, it is. I think invaders are going to be super good. I do think 1216 looks amazing. Like, we just talked earlier about the situation where it's like, actually, I'll go more in depth. Let's actually replace let's actually swap some champions around. So like good early game champion. I mean, let's do Graves, right? Let's say we're playing Graves, and on the other side we've got like poor miserable Evelyn, right? Who is going to be very strong, but who needs some time to get going, right? If Graves starts here and Evelyn starts here, Graves is just so much faster because red side is just so much faster after Gromp that he should almost always make it here. A 1216 invade is awesome. If they start opposite, then Graves anticipating the full clear. I mean, first of all, Graves would like he wouldn't be unhappy to match this, but I mean, he's also just here faster, right? They clear at about the same time, and then they call it the 1216 invade because by the time you've gotten 16 CS, they have 12, and they're here, like, meeting you on your blue buff, and I think Graves just reliably gets in this bush now before Evelyn shows up, so we're gonna have to be really, really, really careful about our level 3s now. And then, like, in the event that both of them start blue, then, like, neither of them are fucked, really, because it's just slow, and it's just worse for both of them, probably, unless Evelyn desperately needs the mana regen, but... it could be really, really scary. I mean, does that make Lee Sin good again? Maybe. Elise in solo queue is probably a monster if she can clear all 3 of these, like, really fast. Historically, she struggles on Raptors, but, I mean, I got Draven clearing Raptors pretty well, so, take that as you will. This change is definitely bad for something like Nidalee or... like, the Die Hard... You know what? It's probably a little bit bad for Graves, but I don't think Graves cares because he does scale so well. So, I mean, let me come up with more examples. Like, oh, Rengar. It's really bad. It's probably really bad for Rengar, too. Unless he just, like, really loves the blue patch. So, it's like, champions like these are, like, the jungle diff champions who, like, the entire premise of them is that they're just going to generate a CS lead and, like, they have to stay ahead. Or it's like a CS lead or a kill lead. Like, they generate their tempo, they must stay ahead, and if they don't, they lose the game. These champions, because it seems that jungles, it's harder to establish a CS lead in the jungle, are probably worse. Whereas the champions who just inherently scale well are still probably, as long as they can survive that initial invade, are probably fine. Like, well, Maokai, there's something going on with Maokai, and they're going to be buffing him in a micro patch. Apparently he's having a bad time with some of the clear dynamics right now, but they'll fix it. I'm not touching Ivern until they, like, figure out what's going on with him. Oh my god, Ivern's gonna have a miserable time, isn't he? Although, actually, Ivern's, like, the uniquely a fast blue side jungler. Yeah, because they're giving Ivern something on a micro patch. They're giving Kindred something on a micro patch, probably for marks and invades and stuff. I don't have the full list. Hi, Desmos. Okay, so we've got Tank, the Moss Stomper one, and I think the Moss Stomper might be good on some carries. We also have Scorch Claw. Scorched Claw will accumulate Ember stacks of a rate of 3 stacks per 0.5 seconds or 100 stacks, so instantly stacked on killing a large monster. At 100, your next instance of damage against an enemy champion will slow all enemies in radius by 30% and deal burn damage equal to 5% of the target's maximum health and true damage over 4 seconds to the primary target. I want to say this is a little bit different than it was on PvE, but then maybe I wasn't actually paying that much attention. So this is supposed to just give your champion more damage. This is probably going to be the generalist option for a lot of carry junglers, right? I think any one of them that are like very, very close range should probably consider this one instead, like a lot of the bruisers and juggernauts, because frankly, is this going to matter like that much? Only if you like really need a tank killed, I guess. So I thought this would be like the one that everyone goes most of the time. I might be wrong. Because this doesn't look like as appealing on paper. Now, the thing I was definitely wrong about is I thought Gustwalker looked like shit, and it's just not. I was not thinking about the context where it would be good. A 60% movement speed steroid is where you get, like, the number you get to on an item where you think, okay, I actually really want this item most of the time. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe Shirelia's was 60% on one point, and it was really, really worth buying when it was 60. A Chem Tank was definitely 60 at one point. When you have values that high, it's just hugely appealing. Now, the one you're getting most of the time is this 45% bonus move speed, which is still generally worth it, right? The 30% that we have all over the game is why Shirelia's is kind of weak, why Chem Tank is kind of weak. Like, 30% isn't quite enough, but 45 feels good. Now, I thought it would be bad. Why did I think it would be bad? Because it's only when entering a brush. So I thought this sounded awful until I realized, wait, no, it's the non-combat one. Duh. This is for pick compositions. This is for, like, certain assassins and lurkers and stuff. It's not helping you in a fight, ever, but it is allowing you to play the map and incite chaos a little bit better. It's a control. It's like leaning on aggro control, stuff like that, right? All fun and games until Flame Rift. Yeah, that would kind of suck a little bit, but you're not losing all of the essential bushes, so... Bard jungle buffs. You know, Paradox, Bard jungle was actually on my list of things to check out before they nerfed the sustain from jungle pets. Nunu kills a monster, immediately presses W, carries that 60% movement speed all the way down the lane. Yes! The question on that one would be, does that actually make Nunu scale well enough? So Gustwalker is good, it's just you have to be aware that it is a non-combat pet. It's not, it's for like Talon, right? It's really good for Talon. Maybe Kiana would like this. Maybe Kha'Zix would like this. It's for your assassins. It's for, like, Lilia could actually like this. Unless Lilia needs Moss Stomper, because, I mean, I would not be surprised if, like, Moss Stomper, Abyssal Mask, Lilia would be really good later in your build. Isn't Nunu already doing that? Well, like more speed is just always good, right? For Nunu. More initial speed. It makes him less predictable. You wouldn't be able to do it on, like, Wolves or something, but maybe a Gromp, like, post-Gromp onto top lane. It would definitely not be bad for Skarner. That's actually a good call-out, yeah. But not honest, engaged Skarner. That's like... No, I feel... No, you'd probably... Because when is this evolving? It'd be really good in, like, early mid-game. The Bush MS is the one you're using 90% of the time. So, anyway, TLDR, Moss Stomper on paper looks really good. We'll see if the shield is strong enough. Right. Scorched Claw, probably going to be the generalist for a lot of carries, although it's not as overwhelming as it looked before. And Gustwalker is a legitimate option, and we'll have to consider that on, like, control non-team fight champions. Like, please, 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 if your primary intention is to team fight, don't take the Gustwalker. Don't do that. That won't help you at all. It's gonna be, like, you have to think about this is gonna actually play into archetype theory really, really well. If you're team fight, don't do it. If you're control or aggro, then we can consider that one. How does Red Pet work with a non-damage ability? Let's see. Your next instance of damage against an enemy champion. It won't interact. So, yeah. Technically, your Bard ultimate does 1 true damage. Right? There we go. I think it's one of those abilities that, like, forces you to take tower aggro. So. Yeah, it could be decent for Eve. It helps her reposition. I think Fiddlesticks was actually like that a lot. Fiddlesticks, like any champion whose primary combat role is to lurk would like Gustwalker. Okay, leash range and indicators. It has this soft reset mechanic. We're going to speed through this one now. The leash range of everything is way lower, so double camping is bad. We got those reports that Fiddlesticks is clear is fine anyway, so we'll find out. Camps can regenerate patience now. That could be big. I'm not seeing it yet. As I said near the beginning of the stream, I haven't observed anyone actually playing with the patience in such a way that's like you kite it all the way out, you bring it back in to regenerate patience, you kite it back out. Like, I haven't seen that being practical. I haven't seen that being faster yet. So, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Monsters will not lose patience for 1.5 seconds after being attacked by a champion within the leash radius. So this is going to be important to know. You can stop patience decay always, especially if you're ranged. Even if it starts to soft reset, you can instantly end it, like if you're something like Kindred, right? Recommended pathing, I don't have an issue with this one. I'm turning it off. This is a good change because this doesn't affect anything. For skilled players, it doesn't affect the decision making. I was gonna say as though I'm a skilled player, but I just have knowledge. It doesn't affect the decision making of high level players, but it makes things a lot more accessible. So that's good. I don't know, Saz. I don't know. I think it's good to recommend things to new players. Like, this is the perfect introduction mechanic. This is excellent. I think what people are mad about is because, yeah, back in my day, we had to walk uphill both ways. Practically, the one downside is that really low elo players could probably just get the wrong idea that there is one best way to clear. And also, this thing is definitely going to be recommending some blue starts that are just worse right now. But it doesn't matter because, like, I've been helping some players who are just getting into the game, and it's like people forget. I was working with a friend the other day. I built her an item set so I could say, like, okay, so you don't know the itemization system yet, but these are the items that your champion would need to care about. And then I realized I did all that for her, and she didn't know about components yet. She didn't know that she didn't have to base on like 2800 to get her Everfrost. She could just build a Lost Chapter. Like, we forget how much we have learned as League of Legends players, and these systems, like, help newbies a lot. Well, Jade, the itemization system kind of does that, because if everybody, like, if everybody starts doing something very suboptimal, then the system catches on, but I digress. The positives outweigh the negatives by a lot. I love this, by the way. I think this is awesome. I don't know when I would use the bait ping, but hold and push. Mwah! That's a bot lane's favorite ping. The AD carry loves it, the support loves it. You get to communicate with each other, but what the fuck you're doing with the wave? Ah! Lovely. How incredible is that? And then we also have these extra vision pings. Bait is for your team, getting them killed. True. Why is even this too loud? Oh, because my own volume is cranked, but yours isn't. Ah, okay. And it's also good for junglers who just want to show up and it's like, hey, I'm entering your lane, we're pushing, and you're getting prio, and you're coming with me to the Drake or to the invade or something, right? Like, it's just good for... most of the flame in League of Legends happens when people like completely miscommunicate or on completely different pages. So this will probably help a little bit. The vision wheel has like need vision, vision cleared, enemy vision. Cool, nice. The need vision ping will leave a small persistent indicator for a minute or until a ward is placed nearby. You may only have one of these indicators active. Cool, nice. As if bronze silver will do that. Well, here's the thing, Jade. If you show up in bronze silver and you get yourself fed and then you make a couple of calls that like work, people listen to you the entire rest of the game. They actually will do that. Like people listen to pings if you can prove you know what you're doing. Where's that? Like, okay, whatever. Objective planning, cool, neat. I think it's a neat system. Allied ward tracking. We're introducing new ward visuals on the map that will indicate when wards are close to expiring. Nice. A little bit less to track. Right. Low elo players don't have egos yet. I promise you they do. I promise you they do. It's so weird that they do, but they do. Sometimes you get like low elo players who like main lane bullies, and then because they main lane bullies and drop like 6-7 kills every lane phase, they think they're hot shit, and then they're like, why can't I climb? It's like, well, because you don't understand mid game macro yet, right? But they have egos. Enemy ward timers. It can be hard to keep track of every single ward that gets placed on the map, and harder to successfully communicate that. Now if you vision ping. Okay, so here's the thing. People were complaining that this reduces skill expression. However, this is literally an impossible thing to communicate in the context of solo queue. If competitive has to manually track wards like a little bit less, I guess it's okay, right? It's fine. This is one of those systems where it's like, yes, it's skill expression to know how to like track wards perfectly, but like, is it necessary skill expression? Because like, I think personally, it is objectively a good thing to clean things up like this so that players can dive more into strategic depth. I would rather players not have this level of overhead so they can improve mechanically faster, so they can improve at like developing their pools faster, so they can learn like archetype theory and stuff like that faster. I think there are more necessary skills that our community needs to develop than this. So I like this. Yeah. It's not a skill we want to force people to express. Exactly. Exactly. True, Jade. Okay, again, 6 ability recommendations. Cool. It is what it is. Let's look at these top lane oriented updates. Okay. Duo lanes. Basically, it was worded really weirdly when this was announced, where it looks like duo lanes are going to get less gold or XP. That's not true. Duo lane XP is unchanged. Solo lane XP is 2.1% more valuable. The two things that we have to check. Does level 6 come a wave sooner? Because right now we're expecting our solo laners to get 6 at like 6 minutes, 6:30 on average. Do they get it a little bit earlier? Is it possible to have like a 5:30, 5:45 Twisted Fate ultimate or something like that? 2% probably won't make enough of a difference to do that, but we have to check it. And lastly, is level 16 now expected sooner than 30 minutes? Like, because, yeah, those are the two benchmarks we really care about for solo laners. 6 at 6 minutes, 16 at 30. If this changes those, we have to adjust. Now, mid lanes are also worth 1 less gold before 14 minutes. If we have, what is it? It's 19 creeps in 3 waves. So like in 3 waves, you lose 19 gold. And before you were already losing 10. So it's mid laners are minus 9 gold. Oh no. Oh god. Oh, the humanity. It adds up, but like they're minus 9 gold per 3 waves. It is what it is. I was supposed to be writing stuff down. You know, fuck it. I'll just watch my VOD back and I'll write it down later. It's going to be a pain in the ass for me, but... Okay. Let's talk items, everybody. Items are the fun things to talk about. We're going to talk about... Oh, one moment. What's up?
I'm going on a walk. Do you want any gamer fuel for your stream?
That's the worst question you've ever asked me.
I know. But, I mean, some chips from work.
Fuck it, yeah.
Hell yeah,
I'll
man.
take some. Okay, let's talk about Jaksho. Okay, let's talk about Jaksho. When I saw this on the PBE, I said to everybody, don't get too hyped. I genuinely don't think this is as good as it looks. Let's talk about why I thought that, right? We have a 3,000 gold, 400 health, 30 armor, 30 MR, 28 haste item, which is fine. So the passive has to be worth it, though. The mythic passive is a reasonably good mythic passive for a tank item. Just a lot more resistances. The passive, for each second in champion combat, gain a stack granting 2 armor and MR up to 8 max. At max stacks, become empowered, instantly draining enemies around you for 3% of your max health and increasing resists by 10% until end of combat. Originally on the PvE, it took 10 seconds to ramp up. I said 10 seconds would actually probably be way too long for this to be, like, really, really relevant. In current state, this resistance increase is not bad, but not as a first item. I think this actually looks like a very, very, very poor rush item. If you can't be in combat for 8 seconds, which is a while, like, that is a long time. If you can't be in champion combat for 8 seconds, it's pretty poor. Cassante, sure, but Cassante, like, we'll get down to it, right? Cassante's IBG, like, 9 out of 10 games. I'm pretty sure. So we mentioned Rammus. 10% increased resistances when you have that multiplicative thing on your armor and then scale off your armor. Yes, this actually would do a lot of damage if you're specifically Rammus. Scion, we'll get to it because, again, Heartsteel is in the game too. And Heartsteel, I think, is a lot more competitive than Jaksho. If you have a build that gets you, like, legendary first item, legendary second item, then Jaksho starts to look pretty good, right? If you're specifically Rammus or a similar champion with, like, multiplicative things with your resistances, then Jaksho could be good. If you're Cassante and must build a magic resist legendary first, and then you don't have a comfortable spot to curve into IBG, then yes, Jaksho. And it's very good when you're all out and gives you a bunch of AD, right? Sunfire is non-mythic now, yes, but we'll get to Sunfire. I have a hot take on Sunfire. So, I really don't think Jaksho is that great as a generalist. No, wait, let me rephrase that. Jaksho is the item you will default to if you have nothing better to build, like 3rd or 4th, right? Jaksho Rush is for very, very specific users. Like, think Rammus, like that. Thank you for bringing up Rammus, because I wouldn't have thought of its use case like that. Especially since we have to compare Jaksho to an actually really good item. Hello, Radiant Virtue! What a lovely item you are. So similar use cases for this one, I think. It's got the exact same stats, it's got the exact same cost, and it also does not look that good as a rush item. It looks really good as a 2nd or 3rd or 4th item. Passive, Guiding Light. Upon casting your ultimate, you transcend, increasing your max health by 10% for 9 seconds. Now remember, these these percentage things are why I'm saying we should probably wait, because much of the value is in amplifying the stats from your other items, right? While transcended, you and allies within 1200 range of you gain 15 non-ultimate ability haste and heal for 1% of your max health every 3 seconds, increased by up to 100% based on that champion's missing health. Good item, right? I think this is a great item for team fighting tanks. Wonder how that works with Mundo's ult? Well, Mundo would have a lot of HP, so if you need to be like a utility Mundo, right? That sounds pretty good. But Mundo has Heartsteel. And we're going to hear that a lot when we're theory crafting. But this champ has Heartsteel. So. Does it give the max before he gets the bonus from his ult? Ooh. I don't know what the order of operations is. I don't know. Well, let's check it out. Heartsteel. Okay. Zac seems impossible to kill with this. Is it better than Heartsteel? Well, let's talk about Heartsteel first, right? Let's talk about it first. Heartsteel is 200 gold more expensive than the other tank options. It is just HP, a lot of health regen, and some ability haste. There are no resistances on this item. Colossal Consumption. Charge up a powerful attack against a champion over 3 seconds within 700 range of them. The charged attack deals 125 plus 6% of your max health as bonus physical damage and grants you 10% of that amount as permanent max health. Wowza. 30-second cooldown for targets. This mythic passive is dog shit. This is appalling. So you do not build this item for the mythic passive. It is atrocious. Genuinely garbage. But there are 2 schools of thought with this one. The first is that Heartsteel is one of the best tank rush mythics. Because we just want to get Colossal Consumption stacking as often as possible. And if we're, especially if we're a top laner, like it's going to be most valuable for top laners, you're just doing like slap fights and you're stacking this early. Right. I don't know for sure if Heartsteel second is going to be good enough, but I suppose that it also means that, so you can say that you need to be stacking this as early as possible, but you can also say if you just start stacking from more HP, then you just get the value anyway. So we'll have to test that out, and we'll have to see in practice what it feels like. But I wouldn't be surprised if this was a good rush item. Mundo, Cho'Gath, like all these health stacking tanks. I think all of the former Sunfire abusers who are looking for a tank mythic would probably actually like to try this. I've actually seen in the games I was watching earlier a Nashor's Heartsteel Diana. I've seen some people, there was like a Twitter thing going around where people were running 5 Heartsteel comps, which is really funny. Titanic seems super nice with it. Shen, Titanic, Hydra, and a Heartsteel. Maybe. Actually, yeah, that could be pretty alright. Like, what was Shen doing before? He was... yeah. Maybe it's Heartsteel into Titanic. I don't know which. Maybe we don't want the Hydra too early, unless... yeah, it's per target CD. So if you get yourself into a fight... if you get yourself into a team fight and you hit everybody... Okay, so reports are coming in that this item is broken as shit. I would not doubt it, given what I saw in the PvE and what I played with. This is your damage option. If you want damage from a tank item, you are building this one. In the general case, right? It's good. It's good as hell. And I'm actually really curious to see how many, like... tank bot laners, are they being opened up a little more? Bug broken or OP broken? OP broken. The item's really good. The item's really good. Senna fasting. This is a 3,200 gold item paradox. But Senna fasting a Heartsteel user. Yes. Like, it could be farming TK, it could be, I mean, again, Cho'Gath. So let's talk again about, what was the exact question we had earlier? It was, Zac seems impossible to kill with Radiant Virtue, is that better than Heartsteel? Well, let's put it this way. Is Zac rushing it? Is Zac rushing Heartsteel into Demonic? As a top laner, that sounds really good. Would Zac in jungle rather do Demonic Embrace into Radiant Virtue? Like, would he like that Heartsteel rush or something? Like, I don't know, but it kind of depends on the curve, right? The way I figure you would choose between these is like how it curves into your build. This is a lot more selfish. This is damage. You are becoming a damage champion with this. This is just a ton of really good supportive utility. What's your role in a game? Like, what do you as the tank have to do in that particular game? And when do you curve into it is kind of like what it comes down to, I think. Do I think some champs will do the Warwick thing and buy bombies for clear? Sonic, thank you very much for the tier 1 sub. 17 months. I really appreciate it. It goes great, Mel. It goes great. I've been having a bad couple of days, and I noticed that since I rebuilt my self-esteem and I'm confident, oh my god. Even when I have a bad day, it feels solvable. How crazy is that? And no, I do not think So look, here's the thing. If you buy bombies now, it commits you to Sunfire. And we'll touch on Sunfire, but like if you're a jungler, who cares? You have your pets. You don't need bombies. You have pets. If you're a top laner, you actually might still get some value out of it situationally. Like if you're just really screwed, I think anyone who can do Heartsteel Titanic would really prefer the Hydra rather than bombies. Like, because you could just build the Tiamat, like if that's really what you need to do. Let's talk IBG. Oh, and also, like, yeah, you'd want to be building this on, like, health stackers. Scion is really good with this. Like, Cho'Gath is really good with this. We already talked about Mundo, stuff like that. Okay. We'll get to Sunfire. Okay. Iceborne Gauntlet. It's back. It is finally back. Which is a big deal. So, yeah, this is Sonic. You are not the first person to bring up Ezreal. Let's talk about the item first. Okay. It has no magic resist. That does suck. It has a lot of armor. That's awesome. Lower health, higher cost. The build path has a sheen back in it. After using an ability, your next attack is enhanced with additional 100% base AD physical damage, Cassante, and creates a frost field for 2.5 seconds. Enemies that move across the field are slowed by 15% plus 0.004% bonus health. Halved to ranged users, they're already trying to get ahead of Senna trying to use this, right? Everything has released today, Liz. We are now in the preseason. Your primary target is crippled, applying a 100% stronger slow on them and reducing their damage by 10% against you for 2.5 seconds. Okay, so the historically good users are tanks like Poppy, now Cassante, actually, yeah, Alawi has this as a great option. That's a great point, Karibo. Although, should she really, I guess, the Sheen is so good for her. This would be a good Bard item, if you can stomach the 3,000 gold cost, because we're support players and we're poor. So, it could be Bard mid. It's the funnel! Yeah! Let's talk. Thank you, Liz. Let's talk Ezreal. Is there a place in the game for him to build this? Okay. This does make him a nuisance. So, if there's a Sheen item in the game, Ezreal will try to abuse it. He will try. The only reason he's not building Lichbane is because Lichbane is one of the worst items in the game. So this has to compete against the Essence Reaver half lethality builds, and this has to compete against Trinity builds. Now, both of those builds have their niches, right? Trinity is really good when you have to kite back when you're actually auto-attacking stuff. The Essence Reaver builds are better when you are just raw poke, because that optimizes your combo damage, right? When does this fit in? When does Iceborne fit in, if ever? I mean, it just makes him a nuisance, right? He's just a he's just a problem. He just gets in your face. He just, like, dashes in, does stuff. If Jungle Ezreal becomes a thing again, maybe this is what he's doing. Maybe he's building Iceborne, like Monamune Iceborne in that order. It's like Sheen Monamune Iceborne, something like that. Although Jungle Ezreal probably doesn't need the tier. Monamune is so good, though. Full tank Ezreal sounds appalling. Especially since building this means he can't build Heartsteel. And I just don't think there are legendaries that are... What is going on here? Why am I here? Yes, Prisma. You just spent 7,000 sandwiches on that. Let's actually spend a moment looking at, like, good users for this item, right? We're going to go straight to the tanks. Because we're not talking about abuse cases just yet. I mean, if you're running, like, top lane Leona for some reason, I guess you could build that. Maokai could actually get very good value out of this one. Ornn could find good value out of this. Jackie, very good to see you. Welcome back. Maybe TK? TK. Monamune, IVG, Abyssal, Frozen Heart. Where's your damage? You're not doing enough magic damage for Abyssal to matter there for actual damage. I would rather Monamune IBG Cyril does, if anything. My point is, there's a lot of good tank users for this who have sorely missed having access to a Sheen item. Cho'Gath would love this still, by the way. So, I mean, Cho'Gath has Heartsteel. Oh, you know what? Cho'Gath probably wants Heartsteel if you're coming into him, but if he needs to chase you down, it's probably IVG. Sets, I can't see it. I think Set would prefer the damage on, like, Heartsteel or an actual Bruiser Mythic. Like, I think... And Set's not really a champion that gets a lot of value out of Sheen. So I think that's probably not our IBG user. Oh, you know what? You know what? I think Viego would like this. I've been playing a lot of Viego lately because I've been trying Kraken, and Kraken is really expensive, and once it gets online, it's really good, but it's one of those items where it's like, it's just better if they're coming into you. But if you have to push forwards with your team, I think Viego probably really appreciates this item. And no, Fiora would prefer Sunderer or Stride or Gore or just... You don't gain value from Fiora being, like, tanky rather than dealing damage. Especially since, well, we'll talk about her itemization coming up, right? I doubt Jax uses this because the other Sheen items that actually do damage are way more appealing. Maybe a couple of Juggernauts, like maybe Nasus. We could argue Nasus would actually like this. Vayncog tank, let's go. But it's the Sheen paradox. The Sheen feels bad. The Sheen, like... you could argue for it on Vi, but I would not because I think Vi must do damage. Okay, yeah, I think we've identified the core users of it. We'll get to keep playing around. But... What about Wukong? I would argue no, because his greatest strength right now is how insane his ratios are. Remember, Wukong is actually pretty... Like, Wukong's clear is slow. Oh, wait, we have to test his clear again. Oh, shoot. I think it's just too appealing to, like, give his ultimate AD ratio, like, something to work with. Don't forget, like, that champion is, like, predominantly attack speed, steroids, and good ratios. I think he just synergizes with the Sunderer too well to, go with IBG. IBG Cleaver is a good idea, actually. It's a really good idea. A top lane only, though. I think that takes too long, for jungle. Or does it? Is that a better 2-item spike for jungle? Oh, you got me thinking. Okay, don't write it off entirely then. Don't listen to me if you think I'm wrong. Test it out for yourself. Don't let me... Okay, here, yeah. Do not let me shut anything down that you guys say if we haven't actually tested it. Friend. Look at it. It's friend. Okay. Let's be very critical about this. Okay. Rod of Ages. 3,200 gold, 60 AP, 300 health, 400 mana. The AP is not very good, noticeably. Okay. These are the exact same stats it had before, if I recall correctly. This item gains 20 health, 20 mana, and 4 AP every minute up to 10 times for a maximum of 200 health, 200 mana, and 40 AP, so it'll eventually be 100. Upon reaching max stacks, gain a level, and effects of eternity are increased by 50%. It is the hard scaling option, right? It makes you a lot more durable, and it gets you scaling properly. Now, Battle Mages got really comfortable with using stuff like Liandry's over the last few years. Liandry's and Everfrost. Some of the old Roa users will not come back. Blue Man Stonks, you guys are correct. Let's talk about Rise. When was Rise's last set of changes? It was 12.19, right? Okay, so on 12.19, Rise got buffed. And what I said on that patch was, this is Rise's 4th consecutive ratio buff. He actually is probably playable. I think he's good. And when Rod of Ages is reintroduced to the game, he will become legitimately a problem. Now, Faker played him at Worlds pre-buff. We were waiting for this, for Rise. Right? Let's actually... Oh, man, it was right there. Let's start looking at champions again. Right? Rise is good. Rise is good. Let's look at our battle mages and talk about who would want this, right? Rise, probably yes. He would like, Rise is fundamentally utility, even if his damage is good. When his damage is good, his range is just too short, right? Roa is perfect for him. Karthus, no. Don't do it on Karthus. Anivia, I would now argue that Anivia has outgrown Roa. I would make an argument that it's just more appealing for her to be an Everfrost user or for her to have damage. I would make the same argument for Malzahar. Swain would probably very much enjoy this. However, it is objectively lower damage than Liandry. But given that Swain does have access to stuff like Moonstone builds, there will be a place for it. I think Swain builds are... We should treat Swain builds as though they're highly complex. Swain has a lot of good options, and we need to study when to go each one. The Radiant... Poor Malz. Yeah, but no, Malzahar is still in a pretty good spot, though. Like, especially after that quality of life stuff, right? The minion thingy. Okay, I would make an argument that Cassiopeia should not go straight back to Rod of Ages. I would make the argument that you, in most cases, should still be sticking with Leandries on her and just giving her a front line to stand beside. I think just having as much DPS as possible is just good on that particular champ, right? Isn't Archangels a really good item? Now, they actually did not ship the Archangels changes. They did not ship Archangels. So it's still the A-Haste version that nobody likes, except Seraphine. Aurelian Soul is 100% taking this. Right. Kassadin. Kassadin really, really likes Rod of Ages whenever he can get a hold of it, right? Because Kassadin almost never needs extra damage. Talia, I would still probably build damage. Twisted Fate is too married to Everfrost, I think. So yeah, we'll have to be critical with our Rod of Ages users, I think. It takes so much, like, it is a greater scaling investment than all of our other options, but, like, you know, some of these really short-ranged battle mages, we're just missing it so much. Like, Aurelian Soul and Rise, easily the biggest winners. Let's start to look at some of the tanks, too. Don't trust early solo queue win rates in fucking preseason. Like, absolutely not. Don't do that. It's never reliable. Let's start to look at some bruisers and stuff. Probably not. I mean, would this have a place on Silas? I think we could try Silas, but I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like if you could get it online on Silas, he would become a problem. I think Volibear actually could probably build Roa, and he wouldn't be unhappy with that. Nico changes are not announced yet, no. Cho'Gath probably has some Rod of Ages angles. Singed probably likes this a lot. Volley would prefer IBG. Well, that's if you're going actual tank volley. Don't forget that that's not the only way to play volley. What about Lulu for Rod? That's an interesting question. Personally, I find it hard to argue against Moonstone for champions that can use it well. I don't think it gives her enough combat power to be like a much better laner, and it doesn't give her enough utility to be like a much better... Yeah, no, probably not Lulu. Probably not now. I think the item system has evolved. Like, okay, so that's what we're thinking. Do not go straight to Rod of Ages on everybody, because there are trade-offs, and we have really deep AP itemization, right? No, that's good. I'm glad you are. I'm glad you're trying to think outside the box. Roa Galio. I can see it. I can see it. Isn't Ornn like half physical though? Like, I guess his W and his E scale with AP. I'm too addicted to that stupid 110% AD ratio on his Q. Like, I'm too addicted to that. That's my favorite thing on Ornn's kit. It's so stupid. It's so out of place. Like, Roa into Titanic. Now we're thinking. Guys, I think you should try Galio, because I don't have a very solid opinion on it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Oh my god, there's sauces in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's probably worth trying it on Galio. I think Galio would, like, as a frontliner, he would really appreciate that Roa. Oh, yeah, no, he used to be a dedicated Roa user, and back in Season 7, I had my niche GLP build. I remember that! The Hextech GLP! Oh! Yeah! Back when it was like Eternity Everfrost. Proto isn't necessary. Night Harvester, kind of fun, yeah. Shut up, Minoshi. I'm just thinking, because it's like Rocket Belt Everfrost for like pushing forwards, kiting back. I mean, like, the Ghost Revolution is in full swing, right? Casante's on Ghost. Nico's on Ghost. Rip Speed Nico. Give me Righteous Glory, Shirelia's, like, all of that back. Righteous Glory, Predator, Shirelia's, like, they're all so nerfed, the Chem Tank now. Like, ugh. Anyway, yeah, that's Roa. Consider it on AP Bruisers, certain Battle Mages, certain Magical Tanks. I think that's where we want to look first. Okay. Catalyst of Eons. My community's been calling this the Crack Rock. So... Restore mana equal to 8% of pre-mitigation damage taken from champions, and health equal to 20% of mana spent, up to 15 health per cast. I mean, this actually does imply that Silas would be really, 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 really good with this, doesn't it? The Crack Rock salesman has been running rampant, right? I'm gonna stop eating this so I don't, like, crunch in the mic right now. I'm putting this away. No chips right now. Yeah, we should try it on Silas, too. We should try it on Silas. Guys, Abyssal Mask is no longer Giga Niche. How amazing is that? How incredible is that? Abyssal Mask, it's a 3,000 gold item. It has 500 health. It no longer has mana on it. It has 40 magic resist. The haste is unchanged. Now, Unmake, I've been saying, it's getting buffed, it's getting buffed, it's getting buffed, it's getting buffed. It's in a spot where, like, it's almost worth it. It's so close to worth it. Abyssal Mask actually had its places when both teams had too much magic damage, but it was just really hard to justify on everybody because, like, the tanks had better magic resist options, and the bruisers weren't amping their damage enough, and it wasn't enough defense or something, and it was close. But guess how they solved the problem? It's so simple. Boom! It has Eternity, motherfuckers. So just, mwah. Now, I'm 90% sure you cannot build this and Roa. I'm pretty sure you can't. Gotta redo the magic damage video. I future-proofed the magic damage video pretty well. Besides, like, the presence of this doesn't fundamentally change too much. It just means there's a few more champions available that it's like, they could build easy magic resist. Like, if you are a tank that deals magic damage and you don't need as much durability as possible, this one is good. If you're an AP Bruiser and you just need a really good magic resist option, this one does now compete with Force of Nature. It does. Maokai on demonic builds, yeah. Zac on demonic builds, yeah. This item has so many more use cases than it used to. So many more. But it does cost 3,000 gold. A lot of the items are expensive now. Randuin's Omen. This item is no longer just shittier Frozen Heart. We're talking Chem Tank, okay. This item is no longer just shittier Frozen Heart. Why? Because its critical strike thing is a passive again. How does Zac work with Eternity? Good point. Good point. Thank you. Good point. He doesn't have mana. Don't build it. He doesn't have mana. Don't do it. So, okay, now here's the downside. Because I'm not 100% sold on Randuin's, like, being the best item in the world yet. The armor is much, much lower. The health is higher. We'll math this out to check, like, its effective HP. But it now has Rock Solid. It now has critical resistance. It is worth exploring again. I think it's good. I don't think it's, like, broken. I don't think it's like, wow, everyone build Randuin. It's like, okay. So, we've had a few questions. It's like, well, guys, can we build, like, Anathemas into Sunfire into Tank Mythic or something like that? Is that our build? Do we rush Anathema? Like, by the way, start rushing Anathemas often. It's really good now. Like, it was good before, but now it's just one of the best options in a lot of top lanes. Sunfire Aegis is no longer a mythic. What does this mean? Well, it's cheaper, it has less health, it has more armor, it has no MR, it has no haste. Okay, that's kind of upsetting a little bit. Immolate damage no longer increased by 150% against monsters. Okay, that kind of sucks. Flame Touch removed. So, do you guys know why Sunfire was so broken before? Actually, no, this is a question for chat. Do you guys know why Sunfire was so broken? What made it so busted? Damage. Yeah, exactly. It did a ton of damage. Do you guys know what Flame Touch did? It basically doubled the damage Sunfire was doing. You know why Master Yi was running around with this thing sometimes? Because he would just stack the Immolate, start applying Flame Touch, it's doubling the burn applying on his auto attacks, like... So... Flame Touch going away is really, really bad for this item. So now, it's just an armor option. It's like, it's just armor, and it can give you some wave clear. Like, there might be a couple of champions in top lane who rely on this item to do anything to their waves. And those champions are now really bad. Because Sunfire has to compete against Randuin's, against Frozen Heart, against IBG, even if you're going to start factoring in Mythics, but we shouldn't. It competes against DMP, but that's DMP. That's not a very great item right now. But yeah, it's like when I'm looking for an armor option, it's like the Warden's Mail items just clear everything else. It's so hard. Well, Steven also played Thresh Top predominantly in Earth. Axing the A haste, yeah, no. And this thing costs 2,800? Hell no, I'm not paying 2,800 for that. This is like one of those items that you buy if it's like, oh, I'm poor, I just need to scrounge together whatever component I need. Oh, it's bombies? Okay, whatever. Like, but even then, it's 1,000 versus 1,000 on Wardens. It's like... Titanic users are nicer. Yeah, it also gives less HP, I suppose. But Titanic users are better than Sunfire users is what we're trying to say. And yeah, I think that's true. Speaking of Turbo Chem Tank, okay. Turbo Chem Tank is now a pure magic resist item. It gives more health, it's cheaper, it's a legendary, it doesn't give armor, it gives less haste. It no longer has refuel. That was a good part of its damage. It's what made this one of the best mythics on Jarvan. Okay. So Turbo Chem Tank is now a magic resist item. Let's compare it to the other magic resist items for tanks. Okay. Turbo Chem Tank versus Force of Nature. Can anybody predict what I will say about like those two items when you're comparing them against each other? Fawn is pretty good, guys. Ignore that one comment on my video that said, no, none of them are mythics, Steven. Neither of them are mythics. They're both legendary items now, so we have to compare them against each other. Force of Nature is just bar none the best magic damage reduction item for tanks. The best. If you want pure MR, you're going to Fawn. Okay. Well, let's compare it to Abyssal Mask, right? Abyssal Mask looks like it has less MR, but once it's in the fight because of Unmake, it will ultimately grant more, and then it's also dealing damage from you. Okay, so Turbo Chem Tank, as just a magic resist option, does not feel very good. And the problem with Chem Tank is its move speed is so severely nerfed. In theory, on paper, you would build this item because it's basically Righteous Glory. It feels good. But, like, it's 30% move speed, and as we talked about earlier when we were talking about the blue pets, it's just... It doesn't give enough movement speed, right? Is it worse Deadman's when Deadman's isn't in the best spot anyway? I think they're about equal just for opposite resistance types. I don't think it's inherently better or worse. I mean, because Chemtank's stats, like, are really not that bad. They're really not. It gives, this gives Negatron MR, don't forget. Negatron MR is a lot of MR. Now that I think about it more, like, as a stat stick, it's really not that bad. It's really not that bad. Never liked Fawn being the MR version of DMP. Well, good thing it does a lot more than that. And yeah, Chemtank doesn't really do damage. It applies a decent slow, that's true. Okay, so here's the thing, guys. Chemtank is not a useless item. It won't be useless. But a lot of what made it appealing for its core users is kind of gone. We now have to compare it against other magic resist options, and it feels bad. So it's like you're building it for itself. And what it grants is not always the best, but it will probably have its places. We're not going to be out here and say, like, unusable trash item, like, not for anybody. But we're also not going to delude ourselves into thinking this is, like, great. Right. It's not great. It's really not. Aegis gets a cost reduction. Cool. Kind of Shnasty Engage. Well, Minoshi, it's only Shnasty Engage if the movement speed backing it up is actually meaningful. The MS Steroid is not good. The MS Steroid is 30%. 30% is, like, the threshold where it's like, I kind of don't want to buy this anymore. You know what I mean? Like, okay. Let's talk about fighters and bruisers and stuff. Oh, it's 40, is it? It's a little bit better than I thought it was, actually. It's a little better than I thought it was. It's still a lot. I mean, yeah, but 30% is the Shirelius number, right? Oh, I just skipped past what I actually needed. Okay, let's just end my full screen. I just clicked Reverie. God damn it. Where's Battle Song? Okay. Shirelius has, like, very few situations where it's, like, amazing. It's not excellent engage anymore when it used to be. It's, like, really just for super specific repositioning stuff in a fight. And it's at 30%. Like, DMP, Dead Man's Plate, is... This moves up to 40 flat. Oh, God, really? It's 40 flat? It's not even a percentage? Predator is now at... What is it now? It's now at 25%. You know what? Come to think of it, Predator was at 40% at all levels before, and that was considered pretty good, right? That was considered pretty good, the 40% on Predator. No, it was 45% before. Predator, at its peak, or like the last time it defined the meta, is now what the blue pet does. But a lot more accessible. Maybe I'm sleeping on Chemtank a little bit, guys. Hang on. Maybe I'm sleeping on this a little bit. Maybe I'm being a little too hard on it. It does grant 40% instantaneous movement speed. You know what, guys? Maybe that's not quite at the threshold where it feels really, really bad, especially as a legendary item. I think the worst part about it is just the fact that it's not split resistances. But, I mean, it's got Negatron MR. Okay, you know what? You know what? No. Maybe it's better than I thought. I think this is, like, a solid B-tier item. Like, it's fine. Chemtank's still a solid I want to start the fight now button. But, like, the problem is most champions have, like, better I want to start the fight now buttons. Like, don't kid yourself into thinking this is, like, a team fight tool, necessarily. This is for picks. This is for just catching people who are wildly out of position in solo queue. Okay, so I've changed my mind on Chemtank. I no longer think it's trash garbage. I now think it's, like, okay. I think it's fine. It's decent. It's a decent item, but do not build it for the sake of building MR. Okay? That's where we'll compromise on this, okay? Do not... I'm gonna be a dumb... I still think... I mean, actually, let's find out what did this used to be, because this speed was also nerfed. Yeah, there it is. When it was 60, it was really good. When it was 60, it was really good. 60% movement speed is where you're thinking, like, I want this a lot of the time. 45% is you're thinking, like, really solid. I like this a lot. 30%, it was... 40... Ghostblade is like... let's find out. Ghostblade is also not amazing in terms of its active, but its passive is not bad. Right. Ghostblade is 20. Ghostblade is dog shit for this. This is the real value of Ghostblade. The out of combat 40 flat. Which I guess was also what DMP gives you, but Ghostblade also... Wait, no wonder I thought Ghostblade was bad for a while. Because this thing, like the 18 lethality is not as much of a... I'm a very waffly person when it comes to Ghostblade, guys. 20% is trash garbage. 30% is like, you don't want to build the item just for that. They are, Jackie. They are. A lot of the really good movement speed items before are just too slow to be worth it right now. Chemtank had a hard time competing on a lot of users when it was a mythic. Maybe now that it's a legendary, like, it has a place where it's fine. 40% is really not that bad. It's really not that bad. Okay, we're gonna move on from this point now, guys, because we spent enough time on Chemtank. I think we can agree that it's gonna be fine, but we've already given our disclaimers and stuff. We have a cheaper Aegis. We're now going into Ravenous Hydra. Okay, Ravenous Hydra is now, instead of 60 to 12% total AD, it's now 60% just in general, and 20% or 30% for ranged. Nice. AD is a little bit lower. Unique passive, Carnivorous. Gain 0.6 AD and 0.1% Omnivamp on minion kills, increase to twice that amount for champions, large epic monsters, and siege minions. Stacks up to 24 AD and 4% Omnivamp, lose half these stacks on death. So apparently this is, I read this earlier, apparently this is the old Bloodthirster text, like almost exactly. Which is kind of cool. Also, what is this item? Oh, this is just the Magi's, wasn't it? Yeah. Ah, Leviathan, you... So, I mean, like, kind of. You have 24 AD and 4% Omnivamp. Yeah. In addition to the actual, like, lifesteal of Rav Hydra. And, like, the AoE is much better. So it's like a faster shove. We'll find out how good this one is. I'm having a hard time, like, assessing it right away, but, like, Ravenous did have quite a hard time competing with Titanic. Titanic was just better in a lot of cases right now. I think this will carve out a niche for Ravenous. It's very nice. Okay, we'll go with that. It's very nice. Now, it has to compete with DD and stuff like that. It is obviously the glass cannon option. It's the glass cannon option. But if you're continually vamping, it kind of doesn't matter if you're a glass cannon, right? Cleave is consistent here as well. Uh-oh! Look what's back, guys! Look what's back. Yeah, oh, okay, so it's just like the high risk, high reward, me carry, me strong. Fiora's building it anyway? Sure. Yeah, okay. Well, I don't imagine she would build this first. I find it hard to... I find it hard to believe that's, like, actually good for her wave to have the Tiamat that early in lane phase. But I digress. Ravenous Hydra looks good. It has a niche outside of Titanic, so it'll find some core users. One of those core users is already Fiora. Good for some, like, big carry moments. Okay. Spear of Shojin. 3,400 gold, 65 AD, 300 health, 20 A haste. Now, this item has historically been a fucking problem for some of its core users. What is it this time? Non-ultimate spells gain an extra 8 plus 8% bonus AD ability haste for melee champions. 6 for ranged. Reduced to 4 plus 4% bonus, so reduced to half for immobilizing effects. So, we cannot do perma CC anymore. Renekton W will not get the same reduction. Jax E will not get the same reduction. Fiora parry probably will not get the same reduction. However, who cares? The AD casters will buy this item. 4th, maybe. 3rd, probably. Possibly. I should say, like, it's almost surely going to be, like, 3rd or 4th. You probably will not see this 2nd. I'd be really surprised if you saw this 2nd while we still had access to, like, DD and Sterix and stuff that are, like, a little more pressing for surviving. So true, Oomphy. Shut up! But yeah, Riven, Jax, Renekton, Fiora, all these, like, variants of carry girls and honorary carry girls are going to build this, and they are going to be significantly stronger as a result, but because we're expecting it to come, like, 3rd at the earliest, it's only gonna be, like, 25 minutes later that they're a problem. The base bonus AD from the item itself, the base numbers are more like 12, 10, 7, 5. Not bad. Not bad. Plus, it also has, like, 20 ability haste on already. Like, oh, I wonder if Ezreal actually gets value from this. Huh. Maybe not. I mean, his haste is already friggin' insane, right? I don't think he needs, like, exigency? Gain up to 15% plus 10% move speed based on your percent missing health maxed out. So, this is not the core reason to buy the item. We've already talked about how, like, movement speed values this low are not super appealing. But it's great because it's tacked on to the rest of this. It's a bonus. It's just nice. So this is a good item, and you will see more of it. And its users will go up in the tier list a little bit, most likely. In fact, I've already heard that Jax is a problem. Like, is Jax a problem right now? It's not really a problem, per se, but what was he before? Okay, well, data's too early, I guess. Maybe somebody was lying to me. People are trying to build it 2nd, actually. Okay, it is possible that I am wrong and it can be built 2nd. Like, because maybe it's actually more valuable than DD or Sterix in certain situations. I was just personally valuing the defenses. Oh, but it is a really good curve, isn't it? If I'm playing Jax and I build, like, Sunderer, Shojin, Sterix. Oh, no. In that order, that actually sounds really good, doesn't it? Okay. Well, we'll see how this goes. We know who its core users are. It's not going to find a bunch of, like, weird poachers. So let's move on to Quick Blades, which I'm really excited are in the patch. Navori was too niche of an item. Yeah, Tryndamere built it, and that's it. So, it has less haste. If you have at least 60% critical strike chance, your attacks reduce your non-ultimate ability cooldowns by 15%. It is consistent. It is consistent. Your abilities deal up to 20% increased damage based on critical strike chance. Okay. Number one thing to test. Is this better for GP than Infinity Edge? Is this better for Infinity Edge than GP? That's an important question. This is better than Infinity Edge for Lucian. We already know that. The GP, Jade, I would not be surprised if you're right, because GP's damage is, like, tied to his abilities. Or not ability. It's tied to his attacks, right? His Q crits like a normal attack. But we'll see, right? Gangplank's not going to be getting a lot of value from this. So this has to outweigh IE. We should check it on Misfortune. For just, like, raw ultimate builds, right? We should check it. Perma W Cog versus Bork Spike. Item 1. No, don't build this. No. This only works if you have 60% crit. You can't build this first. It might actually be 1-to-1 with IE. Well, then check the stats on it. Okay. Perma W Cog. Okay, crit Cog. I mean, probably yes. Probably yes at a certain... Or if you were doing Kraken Phantom Nav. Kraken Phantom Nav. Well, probably would be better than IE, right? It's for uptime is the thing. Like, so Kog'Maw, I do not think would get a lot of value out of this. And if Kog'Maw... So... Let me think about that for a second. It is literally just for the uptime if we build this on Cog. In Heartsteel meta, maybe, to be honest. Let's find champions who would, like, really like this. Champions who... no, because Samira's ult counts as attacks. Does Xayah love this? Xayah would actually not mind it. She would not mind it, but it would not be better than Infinity Edge, most likely. Because don't forget, most of Xayah's damage is still her auto attacks. Crit set. You're a menace and I hate you. That sounds really funny. I want to see footage of that. Caitlyn is worth checking. Caitlyn is worth checking. Yeah. Caitlyn is worth checking. Lucian is like the user of this, as we talked about. I don't think Draven has enough abilities. Like, okay, so it would be like, no, because that would be just for Spinning Axe. So, definitely not. Both properties of it don't matter for Draven. The cooldown reduction doesn't matter because he shouldn't be dropping axes anyway if he's playing properly, and his Blood Rush already resets, so you're really only building it for cooldown on E, which who cares. And then the bonus damage, Draven's Spinning Axe interacts with his attacks already, so Infinity Edge would probably outperform. Maybe Jhin, but still then is weird, like... I mean, Callista's usually on Bork stuff. Not Bork stuff, Rageblade stuff. Senna with Hurricane. I do love Rune on Senna. That one makes me happy. Senna might find some value with it, but, like, I'm really... Okay, guys, I'm gonna share my mindset with this one. I'm looking for burst champions. I'm looking for champions who are, like, not going to be auto-attacking for most of their combo. So I go to Lucian because it's like, first of all, the perma uptime on E really matters for Lucian, and most of Lucian's combat pattern is like assassin-esque. There may be a one-shot Kaisa build. It's not that bad. How much crit is Senna Souls again? I mean, I've built IE with no crit items as like my third item. It's like... No, Kindred's too auto-attack based. Is it realistic to do Eclipse into Nav second? It used to be realistic to do Eclipse into IE. That was real. I think if you're really stacking on support Senna, it probably still is. But, guys, this item costs 3,400. But for Kindred's case, it doesn't matter because their W is already reducing the cooldown of the ability you care about, which is Q. No, okay, guys. If champions weren't building it for the attack, like the cooldown reduction already, I do not think this will be enough. Kog'Maw, for your credit, guys, sometimes was trying to do this already. So I won't rule that one out, but... I think you guys are, like, failing to realize just how huge Infinity Edge is for most of these champions. So, let's no, I'm just gonna go, like, okay. Infinity Edge, right? This is 35% bonus critical strike damage. If you are auto-attacking frequently enough, I can't understate, like, or I can't overstate how much damage that is. Right? This was not compelling for most champions, even though it was like, it's now more reliable, yes. This is the meat of the item. I promise you this is the meat of the item. This ability's dealing 20% increased damage. Zeri could have some potential merit. She could. For perma E uptime, it could. But then you'd have to be like playing for W poke predominantly. And so even then I would almost argue like Infinity Edge should be the one, right? It's exactly 20% more damage with critical strikes, which means if your champion is attack speed based, then Novori can almost never outperform. In terms of actual DPS. The Kog'Maw argument was for uptime, for prolonged. Crit Varus, I mean, like, there can again be an argument made for that one, but Crit Varus doesn't... The bulk of Varus's ability... The bulk of on-hit or Crit Varus's output isn't his abilities. He has that one combo that's really good, but it's like... So, okay, so I feel bad because I feel like I'm trying to shut too much down right now. I really feel like I'm trying to shut too much down. But at the same time, like... Your champion cannot be a high attack speed carry to get more value out. You must be like a very, very pure half-caster. Sivir's actually perma W. Okay, that one I would actually entertain. Going to restate Tristana because you have an attack speed stored and a big depth. But Minoshi, by the time you get that item online, which is 3 items, then your attacks, like your auto attacks, are the bulk of your damage again. You guys have to remember when this comes online. It is 3rd item, right? So, like, let's look for other weirdos, like... The funny thing is, I think Tryndamere is actually less happy with this than he used to be. Like, there's a genuine chance that Tryndamere still gets desperate enough for Transcendence that he goes with it. But, in the Infinity Edge versus Navori Quickblades debate, which now exists, how about Neela? Might be an exception to my rule. Okay, so chat, why would I say that's an exception to my rule? Why would Neela be, even though Neela is predominantly auto-attack based, why would Neela be a better Navori Quickblade user than the other stuff that we've suggested? We're giving you guys a pop quiz. Not Q, not Q. So, yeah, so you guys were touching on a lot of the things. So there's 3 things that I think of right away. First of all, repulsive W uptime is actually really strong. If Neela has, like, almost 70% W uptime, holy fuck. Let's actually... Let's test it right now. We'll come back to the patches, like the patch notes in a moment. Yeah, fucking, I'll just take this, whatever. Realistically, I should be on this, but oh well. Joy, unceasing and forever. So, for Neela, I want to check the W uptime to see if it works how I do, and also, for Neela in particular, increased ability damage on her ultimate translates to increased healing for all of her teammates. That's actually appealing, right? Bel'Veth, I think Bel'Veth's lifesteal core, which does not have enough crit in it, is too good. Especially like Rage Blade. I also agree with the Rage Blade stuff later. Although, no, never mind, because the Lifesteal core is not incompatible with Navori. We could do Bork, Shield Bow, BT, Navori, and then because the champion is so E-reliant, I mean, if you get to that point as a jungler, congratulations, like, good for you. So we're gonna go to level 16. Make myself a ton of gold. We're gonna do... I mean, I've seen Gale Force Neela lately, and it's actually pretty decent. This, that, and then I've been kind of a fan of PD lately, so we'll just try this, right? Oops. I haven't tried a lot of solo lane Velveth. Okay. Ah, they thought of this. What the fuck just happened to me? Hang on. What the fuck just happened to me? Hang on. Let's see what this just did with Quick Blades, guys. Let's see what this ultimate just did with Quick Blades. Because the W doesn't go on cooldown right away while it's active, this isn't, like, absolutely giga broken. And I would still consider it worth it to, like, check Infinity Edge against this. Because the interaction isn't quite as good as we hoped. But I mean, like... I mean, I'm so much stickier, though. And maybe that's worth it, like... I don't know, maybe this is good. Maybe this is actually more valuable than IE. Okay, but my point is, please recognize that an Infinity Edge will still outperform on a lot of champions. A lot of them. So we either need somebody who really, really benefits from this, or who's just unusually good with this. Like, it can't just be, oh, funny uptime, right? It can't just be uptime. It's got to be, like, fundamentally broken with this. Like Neela W. Master Yi, Maybe Wuju style is good. Like Wuju style Alpha Strike stuff. Maybe. I feel like Master Yi should never be picked without enchanters, though, and if he has enchanters, then Infinity Edge might just be better. With 1.5 attack speed and a 10-second cooldown, Quick Blade makes the effective cooldown about 5 seconds. Halves it, okay. Well, I think we've identified some good users of this. Guys, crit champs. Shield bow into what, though? That's our problem. Shield bow into what? Phantom Dancer? Like, LDR? Don't say BT! Don't say BT! No, please. Okay, just build Shojin, guys. Come on. Please just build Shojin. Why not BT? Nah, BT would be good is the issue. Like, BT scares me. Shieldbow Collector and Mavori. Shut the fuck up, Paradox. That is sin. Yeah. Okay, so Minoshi, that actually does sound really appealing. Maybe I am underrating Transcendence a little bit. I still maintain that on high attack speed carries, you should be building Infinity Edge unless you have a fundamentally broken interaction with this. Tristana's bomb uptime is not fundamentally broken. Her jump already resets, right? It's not. I'm not sold on the Tristana idea when she's such a pure auto, like she's such a good auto attacker already by the time this comes online. Kale would have to be on. Okay, I just don't like 80 kill builds usually. I find that AP and AD builds have about the same auto attack DPS, and so I would rather have my ultimate and my heal and my Q doing a little bit more. I don't think it's compelling to have more but weaker abilities on Kale, especially since this is non-ultimate cooldowns. Like if this gave me more Kale ultimates, sure, but I don't find that compelling, but I do find that playable. That's probably playable. Like, Threadum crit and a Nasher Hourglass? I mean, we could, but I don't see why we would, is the issue. Like, we're probably really close to overcapped. I mean, if we're doing 3-item crit, then Phantom Dancer is almost surely one of them. So we're probably overcapped on attack speed at that point. I mean, you could do, like, Death Cap afterwards, but it's just... The Nasher Spike on its own is not super exciting without more AP to back it up. Yeah, we can break the attack speed cap with Lethal Tempo, and we would be running Lethal Tempo because we're Kale. I just don't think that's fundamentally broken with Transcendence. That's mean. But no, I think Rengar should always be building for like the pure one-shot, not the sustained. Unless Rengar's an actual bruiser. If Rengar's going crit, just nuke somebody. If Rengar is a bruiser, then it would matter, but then Rengar should be building Shojin. Minoshi, please, like, if you want to play it, be my guest, right? Don't let me shut you down. Do not let me shut you down on that one. If you want to play it. Yeah, that's entirely your business, and if it, like, because it does sound like fun. I'll give you that. It sounds like a lot of fun. But yeah, probably not the best. AD Navori Twisted Fate. Yeah. Okay. I think we've like covered what are likely. I think we've covered what are likely, like, the really good users of this. I mean, let's just do one more pass quickly. Of crit champs. Not gonna find anyone in here. Oh, guys. I have seen Nasher's Heartsteel Katarina running around. Do with that information what you will. And don't blame me when it comes back. ADC Tarek. Tarek doesn't need Navori. What? His cooldowns are so busted already. Yone's IE. For sure, no question. Yasuo's IE, no question. Start to look for divers. Are there any crit divers in here? Crit Garen doesn't hit enough for... Oh, wait. It's not ideally with Phantom users. I wouldn't necessarily say that. But you do need to be a half-caster. You need to be a half-caster to get Navori value. In 10 seconds. Do we? That's really funny. I could see some really funny Udyr cheese, but it's not real. Like, it's not a real thing. Okay, Sivir uptime might be a little bit compelling, sure. Kog'Maw uptime, I find it hard to argue for that one, but there might be a spot for it. Misfortune might have some situational stuff where it's just like she's just playing for the ultimate, and it would be good. We can investigate Caitlyn. It could probably be worth it if she's playing for, like, predominantly ult poke, but Navori would almost surely be worse for her within a fight. Urgot sounds really funny, but but you're only doing it with E, like your W loses value. Oh, but it's fast. It's fast. But Urgot has Heartsteel now. Urgot has Heartsteel. Guys, wait. I forgot to check something with Heartsteel. Is this weaker on ranged? Why is it not weaker on ranged? Why is it not weaker on ranged? Oh no! Within 700 range of them, though. 700! Oh, Jesus. This is Urgot's Mythic. This is Urgot's... This is Kog'Maw's Mythic! No! No. That's bad. That's really bad, guys. That's really bad. That's really bad. Oh, no. Oh, no. No. We're building, Bork Ginsu's Heartsteel Kog'Maw. This is scary. Can Hurricane proc? I don't know. Is this an on attack? We don't know for sure if Heartsteel is on attack. Always trust Urgot. Thank you, Urgot. Well, I, for one, welcome our Urgot Overlords. I like it when Urgot is good. He's a cool champ. He's very defensive and neat. Fuck, this is gonna be a problem. Okay, anyway. Let's talk about some champion changes. Shogath. His ultimate is just going up by 200 because Smite is going up by 150. Cool. Lilia. We expect this to be a slight buff to her, so we're preemptively nerfing her passive. Oh, yeah. So Lilia is considered melee now. She's lost a little bit of health early. She's lost, like, a little bit of healing against champions. It's like 4 base. But it now uses the stat growth multiplier. So this means Conqueror is way better on her. This means Demonic is way better on her. Cool. Nunu is getting this too. Rakan. Thank you. Mwah. Rakan, whenever he can get away with it, would prefer to be running Spell Thieves. But there's still a lot of situations when he has to run Relic. And this means... Rakan doesn't feel like shit with Relic, and he actually has more wave control. Now, I'm sure you guys have heard my hot take on Rakan. I think Rakan immediately jumps up to, like, top 10 supports once the itemization system supports him properly. He has no good rush item. He's, like, pretty bound to Shurelya's, which is fine. Like, if Shurelya's is in a really good spot, then Rakan loves Shurelya's. But, like, Rakan's AP ratios are so insane. When Zonya's got nerfed, he just felt really bad. Like, unironically, one of the best rush items is fucking Medjai's for Rakan. Like, that's the state he's in right now. Like, he's just... So if there was anything to, like, support him, he would love that. That thing can't be Roa, unfortunately. That thing can't be Roa. Heartsteel Rakan would be fun, yeah. I mean, Tank Rakan used to be way better when his engage potential was more immediate. Like, he can build Locket fine. Like, he's a fine champion. That one, if I just want I want him to have an option as a support is the thing though. Like something that costs 2,500, 2,600. Guys, if Twin Shadows was in the game right now, Rakan would be incredible. He would be so strong right now. Okay. Smite, we've already, like, it's just 600, 900, 1,200. We already know. Turret adjustments. Gold given per plate is up, but the armor and MR per turret plate is +5. Okay, sure. We have some ARAM changes. They can increase tenacity. They can increase energy reduction. They can decrease A haste. It's fine. There's been some base stat cleanups. There's been some penalty stuff. This is early surrender vote stuff. The champ select anonymity, which is neat. Because I don't like when people just look people up and dodge. Eternals, mythic stuff. Anything I want? No, I already have this and I don't want these. Bug fixes. There are some relevant things in here. Let's talk about them. This is funny. This is super niche. This is necessary. This is the bug that affected, was it top esports at Worlds? It affected somebody at Worlds. Maw and Sterix would not go off, but now they always do, which is good. Syndra's E, this is an annoying thing. Some inconsistencies in Mundos. There's some Blitzcrank stuff. Passive indicator. That would have been bad. It was Jackie Love. Thank you. Okay. Fix a bug that was causing Silas to steal Casante's R recast if he wasn't. That sucks. Fixed a bug where Casante could sell and rebuy his items to greatly reduce his gray HP threshold while in all-out form. Crazy. Champions VFX. This one sucks. I'm really sad that this one got patched because this was just a cool mechanic, right? I saw a clip of Callista getting a rend reset by auto-attacking a ward. And that's just cool. And Callista, like, could use a few neat mechanics like that. Like, she's not broken. She's not terrible. This is funny. The big thing that I care about, though, is... Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Here. So I checked it this morning, guys. The Cassante W flash is dead. It no longer exists. You cannot do it anymore. Which sucks. That was one of the coolest mechanics in his kit. I hit Dallas with it once and he thought it was broken. Cassante R10... I don't know about that one. I've never heard of it. Yeah, exactly. With the Callista. So, now that the Cassante W flash is dead, I do not think there's an argument for going flash over Ghost on Cassante. Oh, that's weird. I think that might have been in here, though. Look. Rapid fire cannon could extend Rengar's leap range during his ultimates. Why is that a bug, huh? That's normal, isn't it? What the... Smaller sized champions slip between the gaps in Maokai's R. Weird. I mean, I think so. Well, there we go. That is the preseason patch. That took us 2 hours and 20 minutes to talk about and, like, really dissect. My prediction, I think what I'm observing, like, short term is that tanks are just really, really, really broken, and because of Heartsteel, I think Heartsteel is overtuned from what I've seen. But, like, none of the changes fundamentally shake up the game. We just have some new systems, and new systems are always fun to play with. We have a new Drake, which is going to take us some stuff. I mean, okay, I say none of them fundamentally shake up the game, like, conveniently forgetting the entire jungle. The entire jungle. Because we have... This is major, so... Do we have any questions about non-jungle stuff? Like items, champions, new strategies, like... stuff like that. Do we have any questions right now? Oh, fuck's sake, why is it on that monitor? Do I want a spreadsheet for comparing cooldowns with and without Navori passive? You know what? Sure. Yeah, I like spreadsheets. I don't think it'll change my opinion very much, but I do like spreadsheets a lot. And yeah, Karibo Cho'Gath only got non-champion ult damage up. Very specifically non-champion, not just monsters, so minions too. Like, other than the thing that majorly changed the game, nothing majorly. Yes, okay, I get it. I get it. I did a goof. Thank you for your conversations, guys. I think I got a more nuanced opinion on Turbo Chem Tank. I think we got some cool things out of Navori Quick Blades. Yeah, we just had some valuable conversations about these things. Ah, jeez. Okay, one moment. I'll wait. I will wait patiently. How often do these major changes happen? Once a year, Jackie. Well, okay. Sometimes twice, but not usually this big. So last season we had preseason. What did preseason introduce last year again? Last year, preseason introduced... It introduced 2 new Drakes. It introduced Chemtech and Hextech, and they removed Chemtech. It introduced a bunch of new items, especially tank items. It introduced a bunch of new mage items and lethality items. It brought us First Strike. It reworked Glacial. Oh, wait, we had 2 preseasons in a row that were just cleaning up all of the systems, huh? Yeah, then sometimes we get mid-season, and this year we did get a mid-season. We got the durability update. But changes this big only happen, like, at most twice a year. Because, like, this is huge. The entire jungle got shaken up. Like, spreadsheets in my DMs. Thank you very much. Oh my goodness. How much did we import stuff? It's a graph. Look at this. Oh, jeez. Don't show my old fucking... Hate this. I use a different email now. These chips are so stupidly salty. I can't get enough of these. Okay. So if you have 1 point... Oh, wait. I can actually adjust this, too. Wow. Look at that. Does this factor in that it's a... current cooldown, by the way? Because it's 15% of the remaining cooldown, not just total cooldown. It does! Beautiful! Very nice. Alright, so if your cooldown was like 4 seconds, you could get it to a 2-second, effectively. If it was 5, you could get it to a... Oh, because you're attacking for longer, right? Which is assuming you're attacking the entire time. Well, this is very, very handy. Thank you. Struggling to interpret this like a little bit when it gets down to here. Like, what happens if my cooldown is 17 seconds? Oh, this is 17 seconds remaining. Ah, duh. Wait, but... No, it's how this much time has passed since I cast it. Oh. It's this much time has passed since I cast it. So obviously, like... well... Okay, we're gonna read this off stream. We're gonna get to the bottom of that one later because I'm kind of stupid. Okay, are you guys ready to check some jungle stuff? Let's talk about the jungle again. Let's talk about what's going on exactly. So, some of you guys were saying earlier that it looks really appealing to do a 12-16 invade. And from what I've seen so far, I have to agree. Right? We talked about what happens if one starts blue and the other starts red. We've talked about what happens if both start red. Right? I think we're going to find some... trouble with, like... I mean, even when you're just running some creature like this... Where did he go? What the hell? Where is my Kha'Zix token? What? It vanished. Oh, yeah, they do. Yes, they do. I mean, I remember when support items got their income, like, gutted. I was upset. And then I just adapted to it, and it was fine. Like, supports were getting too much gold. So. It's fine. There's definitely a few changes in this one that I don't love. Yeah, a lot of the jungle players are really, really unhappy that they can't double camp anymore. Like, it just feels like garbage to them. And I don't blame them. A lot of them are complaining that in making the game more beginner-friendly, they took out a lot of skill expression. But, like, we just need to figure out what's changed, right? Because at the end of the day, I still think late invades for level 1 kills are still fine. That's still fine. Let's go through the list of jungle openers that I have right here, and let's talk about each one. Now, this is not a comprehensive list. This was me starting my foundation of, like, learning jungle level 1s, okay? So, a split map. Opposite starts, the aggro jungler runs, like... So, because we were trying to avoid, like... We were trying to avoid situations that started like that. Like, so here's Kha'Zix, right? Let's say Kha'Zix wants to go split map. I'm not saying Kha'Zix can clear properly. Let's say he wanted to split the map. So actually, let's replace him with Graves, because that's a much more realistic example. Because Graves has a shit ton of options at all times, and is just strong at all phases, unless he falls behind. So, like, let's say we're dealing with this situation. In fact, let's even make it harder for our poor jungler over... Nah, he's too weird. We'll stick with Karthus. Okay. If we were to do a split map, we wanted to prevent this scenario where both junglers just start here. Because as we already mentioned, this very often does not favor Graves. The only situation that would favor him is if he started here, Karthus knew, Karthus went here, Graves went immediately to defend. And then Graves wins level 2. And then Karthus has, like, a really awkward path here, right? But at the end of the day, like, even Oh, no, it wouldn't be inherently bad. It would just mean... Karthus has more opportunities to make something happen, so if Graves' team is playing for him, then they should be playing, like, relatively safely here, because Karthus wouldn't be able to, like, generate really reliable ganks, and Karthus wouldn't be able to, like, bully Graves as much, and he'd be fine at it. His level 1's fine. Okay, I talked myself into realizing that this start in this specific matchup is not necessarily as bad as I thought it was. If you were playing, like... This, it would be appalling. This would be awful. I'm actually just going to get my Karthus token, like, somewhere. Where is he? Where'd he go? Here he is. Okay. Okay. I guess there is a window where that's okay. But, like, the split map that I was talking about is... You go opposite starts. The aggro jungler does this camp, runs here. Karthus knows, goes here. The power farmer must accept the split map. It must be identified by wards. This is no interaction. This would be slower for both of them now. But assuming you're starting here and one of them is just stronger than the other, that would be allowed. Kept asking and wondering about funneling. To my knowledge, the current, like, the pets work very similarly to Hailblade and Ember Knife, except their tax goes away faster. I think we can do some weird things with it, but not, like, early game funneling. I released like a short about that not too long ago. Where it's like, I mean, I'm running Karma mid or something. I'm running Galio mid. I'm running, I mean, what else was it? I think, like, Seraphine mid was a good option, too. Like, or specifically, like, for the Graves, right? This would actually be really good if she... Where are my red tokens? I could do some weird snowball funnel. You mean in, like... Do you get more, like... The level 1 late invade? Yes. Yeah, 100% you can still do that. If you're invading for the sake of a kill, easily. Like, still possible. That hasn't changed at all. It's invading to take camps while on a timer that is much harder. So, like, let's say Graves went here. Karthus full cleared this, like, really, really fast. Because this side of the map is so easy to take now. There is a non-zero chance that if Karthus skips Wolves, he encounters a level 2 Graves here and actually kills. So split map rejected sounds so much worse for the invader now. As long as you know he's here. If you can get the information that he's going for split map, it should be pretty easy to punish. Because, like, Karthus is not... No, Karthus should actually be fine in this fight, too. Level advantage. Graves stacks Grit, which is just armor. Like, split map accepted doesn't favor anyone here, necessarily, unless, like, Graves' lane is, like, really good up here. Paradox, I've been meaning to try some, like, hyper roam stuff at some point. I just don't know what type of composition that would work with. I remember some old, like, fiddle double jungle stuff, but, like, I wanted to experiment with, like, this. The red is just too broken. Like, there's some Talon support stuff. I've been meaning to check Kiana again multiple times, but I can't play her very well. Scion, oh my god. Minoshi, thank you for being faster at math than I am. I can do the math, but... What? There's nothing? Prisma! Thank you so much for the 5 gifted! Oh my goodness! Why would I take your money? Wow! Thank you so much! I really appreciate it! Oh my goodness, and a lot of our Baba Is You viewers got them too. That's awesome. Fantastic. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, Sonic. Let's talk about your jungle insights. So, no jungle tax. Is that true? Actually, come to think of it, they did not mention that here. But... Wow, really? So, are you telling me that junglers... Are you... Wait! Sonic. Are you telling me that junglers only lose experience from minions, not gold? How much CS do you have? Because that's not consistent with what was written on the VPBE page on the wiki before. That's not right. That one I definitely think you're wrong about. I have seen the junglers, like, noticing it. It's minus 15 per, like... Right, just keep farming it out. We'll check it out. Just check in with us periodically. Because if that is true, then what Paradox was proposing is correct. Like, just outright. It's right. Yeah, actually, why don't we do it? Why don't we do it right now? Who do we want to try on? Like, who's easy? I could do, like, Viego. Okay. Let's check this out. Let's see how true this is. Yeah, that was in the patch notes. Like, it should be true. Like, we should be losing XP. And if it's not true, then it's bugged. And if it's bugged, then we don't care because it'll get fixed. I want the green one. The green one's funny.
She waits for me beyond the mist. My queen, my love.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Minions have spawned. 30 seconds until minions spawn.
My heart. It hurts so much.
But don't forget the average game level includes both junglers. Oh, we should do this top lane actually, where the minions are worth more.
You're sinking beneath the waters. And then.
Don't look at me. I'm a support player. Oh my god, how did I miss? Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter how much we miss. All that matters is that we, like, do this long enough to prove that tax doesn't exist. Oh, how did I fucking miss that one? I'm an appalling laner. I need to do so many more CS drills. This is disgusting. Okay, Level 2 of second melee of cannon. Oh, wait, then yeah, we were losing experience. Yeah, we were losing experience if it was minion number 8. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, you should be doing it on 7. How much? I mean, I'm definitely, Oh, no. Why am I not taxed yet? 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 No. Guys, we have 20 CS. I mean, jungle tax was never based on CS number. It was always based on, like, a proportion of your income. But, you know what? We're just gonna farm them over here where, nothing can prevent me from farming. I promise I can farm. I promise I'm good at this. I'm not good at this. It's an embarrassing lack of skill. Actually, in fairness to myself... In fairness to myself, when's the last time I farmed lane minions on Viego? There's no tax yet. Where's Bork? There it is. Oh my god, I just saw it. There it is. Okay, so that is a camp taken in case there was a bug with it. Nope, still no tax. Jesus, no, don't. No, this isn't real, guys. This isn't real. This is not fucking real.
We were beautiful once.
Oh, we're in danger. We are in danger. No. Well, who knows? Maybe it is. Maybe they expect that the XP is good enough. Right. I'm not planning for a meta around this. No, probably not. But are we going to abuse the fuck out of it for flex? Yeah, we are. Well, not in my next flex session, but I'm planning some stuff for a video. Yeah, it is. It works. You can funnel from the beginning of the game. It doesn't have to be a mid-game funnel. You can just do it. You can run like the Bard mid stuff, but while actually perma roaming, like properly.
What is lost is never lost.
Return of Janna top, return of Renata top, like maybe not Janna. The move speed is too poor. Would definitely rather. Oh my god, but isn't Graves like really good in this current patch? Isn't Graves like really good here? Because like jungle income is objectively a little bit up, right? That's what we talked about. Jungle income is higher, which is good because some of the tank items are more expensive too. And if I'm going to be playing like Sejuani, Maokai, and stuff like that as part of my pool, then that's just nice. Like, I should have like triple checked to make sure that thing can actually like finish off the camp, but the worst part is, Paradox, that many more champions have functional clears, and if you're like bolstering their health with a Taric, okay, that sucks. Welcome back, Liz. We are almost 10 minutes into this game and not a single sign of jungle attacks after farming all of these waves. No, but I like my champion. Look at that. I just bought my Bork, and I'm not taxed yet. I'm like actively teleporting around the map for more CS. They fucked up. They They made a mistake. They made a huge, huge, huge mistake. Is that showing?
Stand against me.
You did. I didn't believe you.
This mist has but one fear, and I will fight.
Well, my pet was really AFK while in my mist. That's, Oh, jeez. Okay. Well, we've got our information.
Submission or death.
Cybern's still broken. We can check him. We can see what's up with his clear, but can't imagine it'll feel amazing. So I just want to do like some quick red side versus blue side tests. Oh, they definitely fixed that one. They fixed that one. That was game breaking for him. Give me a moment. I'm going to use the washroom, guys. And then when I get back, we are going to test some things. I'm just going to make Viego start moving so I don't get flagged as AFK. BRB.
Minions have spawned.
Okay. It actually did try to get me. Okay, there we go. We've got live split open. We're going to disable the minions. So, we're going to start talking. While we're doing this, we're going to like test some clears. We're going to see just how much faster red side is than blue side. Unlike something like Viego. Let's go. If I get under 2 minutes, guys, that means my clear is done before Scuttle spawns. I keep doing that. I keep doing that. I just hit the wrong... No, don't tell me. Okay, I have to unbind that hotkey. One moment. I have to unbind that hotkey from OBS. Oops! Let's try again. When I was doing my Draven clears, like a month ago, I think I started leaving this when it was at like 850. So I should be able to start moving now, right? Yep. Review myself. Krugs go much faster. I'm going to start DPSing. I mean, we should do some like health tests too, just to verify what Sonic was learning. You guys follow me, and you fuckers. Whatever. They're marked for death. I just TP'd, so my time is all messed up. Okay, I am so not optimizing this at all. So we're just gonna we're gonna end the timer on this one because this run's like doomed. Because I messed it all up. Okay, I forgot. Yeah, okay. So it has been confirmed that you need to take all of the Krugs or your XP is screwed. Oh my god, I'm in the wrong thing too. You guys didn't even see that. You guys didn't even see the timer. Alright. My bad. I screwed up everything. Let's try again. trying to like over-optimize this a little bit. You know what? Okay. You know, actually no. Fuck you guys for laughing at me. These clears are new. These are new. I'll commit like one attack here. Really should be queuing more because it's probably not worth waiting for that. And they didn't kite it very well. Hit this one to line them up. Boop. That's a pretty normal Viego trick. Now ordinarily Viego would be like hitting those for sustain. I feel like I still should. That definitely sucks. That feels bad. We'll run a few trials of this. I'll do one where I hit, like, the, small ones 0 times. That one dies next. Really? My hands, guys! My hands are broken. And I hit the wall, so I just revealed myself to the enemy jungler without needing to. I don't want to do a double smite clear. How much is my thing doing? My thing is doing 21 damage? That's still pretty obvious. Okay. Well, we're supposed to, if you're doing like clear optimizations, you're supposed to clear as though you're playing a real game, right? I mean, my health is like okay. It's not great. Sonic, what was your specific health optimization that you made?
Submission or death for all. In the end, it matters not. I will see her face again.
It's a kill the small monsters first thing. I will trust you for a moment, but that really does not sound worth it. So my thing barely wouldn't have gotten it, like, in range if I hadn't committed that extra auto attack. I think I'm definitely, like... You know what? I'm probably kiting things really poorly right now. Like, I'm just standing here for too much of it. I cannot abandon these. I can stab them like that. And then what I could do is I could actually do this one. Because it's super trivial to kite the raptors back into here. And speed. I need to be using my mist properly. This is my run where I'm not hitting any small monsters first. Like, but yeah, if I kill the small monsters first, I can't do stuff like that. And that just feels really wrong for clear speed. I mean, these ones could stand to be hit once. I need to work on my wolf pulls. I don't think they're very good right now. Why did that come up? Nobody pinged that. I should really check to see if W auto, Q auto is faster in these clears. Okay. I mean, so this would have spawned, like, just now. I mean, my health is really not something I need to optimize for in this context on Viego. Let's see how it is unoptimized from the other side of the map. Like, I just want to see, like...
monstrosity beyond my knowledge.
Okay. 155.84 was my last run. Let's try it on this side of the map. And I'm just going to do the exact same tricks, and then I'm going to test, like... Oh, fuck me. No, I blundered it. I blundered it. I didn't smite properly.
She waits for me beyond the mist. My queen, my love, my black and die.
How much HP can I save myself by, like, doing little things like this? Gromp hurts. So I'm gonna get like, oh my god, I'm only getting 40 damage off on my retreat. Really? One. Fucker. Okay. We should be tracking the time after I'm finished 3 camps, to be honest. Instead of a full clear. I bet the full clears are like relatively similar. But... this one survived. I bet the full clears are relatively similar, but it's not all about full clearing. It actually does look like the full clears are similar, but... no second smites, because we didn't use it the first time. I'm just hitting single targets right now. Okay, well, not that time. Yeah, it was identical. Okay, so the full clear was identical. Yeah, Zolo, we just got some gifteds earlier. So. Hang on. Guys. We're getting this later. It's only got one hand because apparently it gets too distorted when it's small, but we're getting this later for our emote collection. It's been a while since I've gotten a new emote done. So. Okay. I've been AFK for like 2 seconds. Shut up. I don't care. You'll be punished by Lever Buster. Whoa. when someone builds art and sensor. Okay. Let's compare our single side clears, shall we? I didn't buy my jungle pet.
Submission or death for all who live. In the end,
That would be cool, Zolo, if that were true.
we'll see your face again.
Okay, let's check some partial clears. One, two. We need to re-verify the Urgot clear. He had a 315 at one point. No, he had a 313 at one point. Why did I just spend my stab on that, dude? I have to clear these. Like, I can't not clear these anymore. That slowed me down a ton.
What is lost is
Minions have spawned.
Well, Draven's slowed down too because the pet's just... The reason it was so fast is because the pet did so much AoE damage. Sure, just in a moment. We have to finish this Viego trial. Whoops. We need to, like, verify that red side really is that much faster than blue on all these champions. Okay. Oh yeah, that shouldn't happen. Here, I'll do an Urgot later, too. I'm gonna be, like... If I'm gonna be jungling a lot more this season, then I really need to just optimize my chance clears. See, I just did that. Like, what the fuck am I doing? Standing there AFK, like, instead of kiting my red buff out towards my Krugs. That. Pulling these out here.
Minions have spawned.
Hello, pets. Okay. I don't really... I'm not doing it permanently, but it seems like a situation is developing that may require me to jungle for a team. And if that happens, then it's good experience for me. Whatever. Oh. I have this on. By the way, if you guys want to turn stuff off, you can turn off show spell recommendations here. I mean, guys, it's entirely possible that Viego is just kind of, like, slower than he used to be. Yep, over an interface. That was just a really bad clear by me either way. And with a leash, this should be lightning fast too. Smote way too late. Honestly, much better. That should max range it, yep.
Minions have spawned.
Okay, so we'll take that one. That was probably the best one I've done so far. That took 56 seconds to clear all 3 of those camps as Viego. Now, if we did the same on a blue side start, maybe it doesn't matter too much for, like, this particular champion because my AoE is not, like, amazing. Cancel an auto. Pet, Jesus Christ. Come on. Do your job. You're supposed to do 2 additional auto attacks. Oh, I've got to stop its patience from dropping by moving back out there. Wait for its patience to be restored. Okay, honestly, for Viego, it doesn't make much of a difference.
Minions have spawned.
And that actually might be a significant weakness for him. It really doesn't make much of a difference. Okay. I want to show you guys what happens when we actually have AoE. Then, once I'm done doing that, we will... Oh my god, my client is crashing. Okay. We will talk about the jungle openings and how they probably changed. And then when we're done that, we'll look at the funny weirdo junglers. Like, we'll check the Kayle and we'll check the Urgot and stuff. I'll play that.
Know the loom, be the stone.
Funnel Orn moment. Poggers. So yeah, we're just going to compare these two. A champion with real legitimate AoE. Like, I've seen a Sejuani clear on this patch. Oh my god. So, it seems to me my first impressions, which might prove to be wrong, but originally on the PBE, champions with like, do the pets help non-conventional junglers? Yes. Originally on the PBE, the pets just did enough that being a single target king was the best thing you could be. That's why Draven's clear was so good. That's why Urgot's clear was so good. They just did so much single target damage, and the pets just cleaned everything else up. And it was awesome. It was awesome for marksman junglers. It was awesome for stuff like Ziggs. Although, when you think about it a little more carefully, that also makes AoE junglers just go supersonic, doesn't it? So, we definitely don't want to be like pure single target. We want to be like... Well, let me just show you guys. Let me just show you guys how lightning fast stuff, something like Talia or Sejuani can do it. Like, and imagine with a leash what happens. If you're a jungler and you go leashed red side and the enemy jungler is leashless blue, they're fucked. Like, I don't see how they can do anything into you. Like, you just enter their I didn't prime a... Okay, hang on. What the hell? Why is this still here? Oh, it's not. That's the thing. It's not there. Okay, are you guys ready? Forgot about the golden rule of Talia, which is, priming that. Although, actually, I just forgot about something. That has to go.
Rubble Rouser. That would be a cool nickname.
Minions have spawned.
It's not as supersonic as I saw earlier, but it's also because I didn't start Raptors like the other clears did, and my E usage has been poor. Look at that. 58. Wait, I'm slow as shit. Oh, I saw leashed ones. Maybe my E usage was really poor too. Okay. I didn't prime my worked ground. That's okay. It'll slow me a little bit, but...
Fresh stone for a fresh start.
This clear sucks. I'm not even timing it either. What the hell am I doing? I am so sorry. You guys can see that, okay, we've actually primed it this time. Okay.
The ground's a bit unstable here.
My pet genuinely doesn't look like it's doing anything, but... I guess it's just kind of hard to notice, huh? So yeah, most of this worked ground actually doesn't exist. We're trying to save our smites for the buffs because it just looks like that is universally the fastest way to do it. My times are not supporting what I've seen earlier. That's a 57. Let me try this now. Am I just clearing wrong? I feel like I'm clearing wrong right now. I feel like I'm not clearing correctly. I gotta restart that one. Like, that one was... I just missed 3 out of 4 of my, my shots here. Okay, so this is leashless. I'm auto-attacking. Control-Shift-P. Really useful hotkey. So yeah, Talia would kite it out for that purpose. I guess if you have like weird champion mechanics, you could do that.
If I stumble, I have the earth to catch me.
What the hell am I doing wrong where...
Time for a clean slate.
This is like not noticeably slower. No, something... I'm playing Talia now, but... No, the point is, from when I was watching, like, actually experienced junglers, it was really, really consistent that they were just clearing everything red side way faster than blue. And if that's true, you know, if red side is just faster to clear most of the time than blue, like on 90% of champions by a significant margin, as it really looked like it was. Like, okay. Yeah, it was, Gromp is the most time-consuming camp now. But if I'm taking the same amount of time to do both sides, that means I'm clearing the red side wrong. That's exactly right. Yeah, that's true. It's how... It's what we've seen so far, but I just didn't replicate it. And that was weird. Because I feel like the conclusion is I just played it badly. But... Let's talk about our openings. Let's just assume that I played it badly for a moment, okay? Let's just assume that I did not optimize my clears whatsoever, and... Well, the pet felt a lot more bug-free than it used to. Okay, so... Let's talk clears, right? When you do this delayed split map, split map accepted is still fine. Split map rejected is way worse. Because assuming... It does. It's really funny. Assuming that Karthus does this, 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 Graves does this, this, then Karthus actually should be done. Skipped Wolves might encounter Graves here. If that enemy camp stuff is slow enough. Then split map rejected would be really bad for Graves. We have the 12-16 invade assuming the red side stuff is still true, the 12-16 invade is really strong right now. 3 camp into gank, really good from red side. Right. Yeah, we're just using like any champion, for example, like just to like check these openings, right? A 5 camp. So the 5 camp used to skip Krugs so that you could speed up as fast, like so you could just it skipped Krugs because Krugs were too time consuming, so you could be on the map sooner. Under that rationale, Gromp should be the skipped camp now in 5 camp situations. You're talking about this like it's chess openings because there's a lot of similarities. Like there's a shocking number of similarities, and like from watching VTS games, they're like some teams would just refuse to think about it like this, and would lose the game off of it. Like you'd be amazed how much of a science jungle openings can get down to. We have to like modify them now, but like I got late invaded yesterday, and then I looked at my team. I'm like, oh. No shit, I got late invaded. We have Zillion support and Kale top. Like, no matter where I start, if they know where I'm starting, I die. The jungle analog to the intercontinental ballistic missile gambit. Vanilla Akshan funnel. Or no, the Nila Lee Sin. That's what it is. It's Nila Lee Sin. The Nila Lee Sin, like, proxy back here. Yeah, late invades are still fine. We're good. Full clearing is still fine, but I feel like if you actually know how to, like... Here, okay, hold on. Let me show you guys what I mean. We're gonna mute this. Okay, this is Ambition's stream. Genji Ambition, right? I was watching some of his VODs last night so I could, like, really learn what's going on. Because, obviously, he's an incredible jungler. So I watched this Sejuani game. Oh, he actually started blue in this game. Well, in fairness, it was, like, predominantly Spica talking about this, like, red buff stuff, and I just kind of, like, based on what I saw him do, like, I kind of just went with it. So, watch, I'm gonna speed up the game a little bit. When you have a leash, this really doesn't look too bad. I guess oh, you know what? Sejuani is a single target monster too, isn't she? That was always a cool... Like, I didn't know about that W trick before I watched this. I guess this doesn't really tell us anything about Reds, and he's also covering his math, which good on him because he's a high elo jungler streaming, but depressing for us. We don't get to watch. Oh, wait a second. Wait, isn't there a better way to do this? Hang on. Hang on. No, there's a better way to do this. No. Here you... What's his account name? Spica something. Like, what's his account name now? Is this it? Is it just that? Like... It is. Oh my god! I saw Rush playing this earlier. Is this legitimate? Is this real? Okay, these were the games I was watching earlier. I was talking about that with Sonic too, Tristana Jungle. I can't believe he actually played it. Okay, we'll go to it later. Just give me a moment. I want to show you how fast this Tilia is. And, like, granted, he's against an Ezreal jungle this game, okay? So, take this with a grain of salt. Oh. My timer's still up. Let's see what he did on his Tilia that I wasn't, and why this, like... And then we'll be able to know if this, like, red side is just infinitely faster than blue side is true. See, like, worked ground primed. We have We're going to see a 12-16, spoiler alert. We're going to see a 12-16 invade. Because Talia starts leashed on red. Which is a big part of this, I suppose. Barely moving it out. Speeds it up dramatically. See, Ezreal also gets the leash. They're about even. Does not smite it this game, because he's smiting the Krugs, but then said on his stream, it's like, yeah, I think you always smite the buff, and I just didn't.
First
He's just not wasting his spells on the Krugs, is pretty much it. Like, and then he gets to his. Okay, it's his rotation between camps that's just better. I think we're rejecting the premise, guys. I think we're rejecting the premise. I'm not sure that red is like significantly faster as a 3 camp in the like just in every situation than blue. Oh, but you know what? Let's watch another game. They both got leashed. If red was faster than blue, then it wouldn't matter in this case because they both got leashed, right? Now, don't forget, that was also Spica saying, like... We're doing the Graves first. I'm not sure he's right, actually. Like, I'm really not sure that he's right. Oh, I just hit the wrong button.
30 seconds until minions spawn. Minions
I think he might have been making a point on, like, vibes only, but... And this is leash versus... Okay, this is same side start, but, like, leash versus no leash. I think it was purely a vibes thing, where it's like, oh my god, I'm clearing my Krug so fast. This looks like it's a 3 camp versus full clear situation. Like, no, it's this reverse where it's the 3 camp into bot strat. Minoshi, no, because red buff is on top side half the time. Right. In this case, it's because he was trying it, but what we talked about earlier is that green does look really good. I mean, Zolo, right now the junglers do not agree with each other at all about what they're running. You have some of the challenger junglers saying, like, oh my god, green is broken. You have some of them saying, like, oh, green is dog shit. I run red every game. Like, they're just trying stuff. I think green looks like it has potential in carries right now. But you're gonna have a... But green on Graves would be good because Graves is really close range. If the value is not high enough, then Graves would just... Yeah, but look! No! They're fucking... they're on the same side of the map. That's right. They're on the same side of the map, and Graves committed some extra time, like, doing the reverse to... Red is also fine in team fights if you have, like, if you're long range, you're a carrier, you have a front line and stuff. Blue is the one that you never take if you're going for team fighting, but blue is good for control. I don't know. I don't think I accept this premise anymore. I don't think I accept this premise that red side is inherently faster. But not all the assassins, because some of the assassins like red for one shot. Okay. No one's optimized anything, guys. Did you see that? %5 max health burn can be just enough for like a get in, get out without spending an extra auto attack. Like, fine, we'll look at the Trist game. Guys, he took 3 camps and ganked. I guarantee that's what he did. He took his red side camps and then ganked somebody. And then the gank worked, and then he kept ganking. Like, that's what will have happened this game. Alright, let's see who's right.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. 30 seconds to minion spawn. Minions
He's
have
W
spawned.
start now. Oh no. Well, there's a Fiora Scion matchup going, so good luck to Scion. So this is just what happens to Trist, right? Clear health is not very good. Is this blue-red gank? Oh no, it's not. He's taking the small camps to like speed it up. Oh, there's no ganks available. Oh my god, he's honestly clearing. Everyone and their mother fucks up Raptors, let's be real. Wow, we were both wrong. There just actually are no... Look! There's a Talon trying green. I wouldn't be surprised if green turned out to be, like, the best one in general case. Like...
First blood. Blue team.
Ah, Tristana clear health. But, like, how much gold? Wouldn't have been... Yeah. There we go. Okay, let's talk about our openings now that the premise is rejected, okay? First of all, do we feel comfortable rejecting the premise? Do we feel comfortable rejecting the idea that red side is inherently faster than blue side? Because I think I'm at that point now. I don't know if that was accurate. So I wonder if... Well, the evidence points against it is the thing. Like, we really don't have much evidence at all right now, but the evidence does point against it. Well, I mean, that was just myself and Spica and Ambition. And Ambition was like a one-game sample size where he just decided to start on blue because Ambition hasn't like fully tested everything either. Like, that's 3 players, and one of those players is not a good jungler. So... So, I mean, that still doesn't have implications for... that still doesn't have implications for 12-16. 12-16 still looks really, really good. It does look like junglers are able to hit 3, like, very quickly, very comfortably, but I don't know if it's, like, inherently faster than before. Let's talk about the few things that are true, okay? I no longer think split map rejected is inherently winning for the invade. Yes, you do get that extra 50 gold pretty often, right? So, okay. What is true? Junglers get more income. Junglers have a harder time denying income from each other long term. and it is more difficult to get like a straight CS lead on your jungle opponent based on the fact that you can't leave small camps anymore. Race counter jungling, which is, you know, like when you just go in and try to grab stuff before they show up, knowing they're going to come eventually, is weaker. Cross-map counter jungling obviously is not. I mean, okay, so if split map rejected was still really bad for Graves here, it's not because red is so much faster than these camps. It's because Karthus just clears his camps faster than Graves clears Karthus's camps because of that, like, own side advantage, right? Items being faster really favors, like, Graves, Kindred. Does make Yi more appealing. Funnel being real from level 1 makes Yi a lot better. How did they fuck up so bad that they brought Funnel at level 1 back? Like, I can't get over that, guys. It has to be. It has to be a bug. I'm afraid of the consequences of it not being a bug. Okay, but... Okay, so this would be weaker, not because red side is slow, but because of the... Yeah, okay. 12-16 we've established is still very good. Like... Oh, you know what? You know what I failed to consider, guys? I failed to consider Graves' pit hop. Graves has a pit hop, which actually would speed him up fast enough to probably avoid this, no? Because if red side is not... Yeah, okay, so the pit hop split map is like... I think there's no substitute to practical experience, unfortunately. Yeah, okay. Well... Guys, I'm not convinced that in terms of macro, that much has been fundamentally nerfed. Again, the only thing that we identified that was, like, noticeably worse was this start. This start was noticeably worse for Graves. Even just on paper. Especially, again, if it was Viego and not Karthus. If it was Viego, and Graves did this, and then had to go defend his camps up here because of the possible cross-map, then he's power farming like that, and Viego just gets free reign over here and here. And now it's even slower, so Graves is spending more time moving and... Excuse me. I am not convinced. Yeah, no. Nothing from a raw theory perspective has changed. Now we just need to figure out what the new invades are, like how fast people are. We just need to relearn clears, speeds, and... Okay. So, guys, it's not a theory question. It's a practical experience question. We just need to know what invades exist again, and we need to know what everyone's new clear speeds are, and stuff like that. Okay. That's fair enough, I guess, right? But the big difference is that leashed and leashless clears are really, really noticeably different now. Like, leashed clears are so much faster, it's not even funny. They were already pretty different, but now, like, whew. Oh, the tempo advantage is juicy. Do you guys want to test some weirdo junglers? What do you mean I don't have any friends? Like, we're gonna start with Urgot because I just want to see how his clear holds up now. What would I be running? Would I be running PTA here? Like, yeah, I'd be running PTA. Okay. We're just gonna see how this clear holds up. I think Urgot definitely has a place in the jungle if it's good. He's not gonna be an amazing ganker necessarily, but he's gonna be a really good, like, he's gonna be good at eating invades, kind of. He'll be... Well, he gains value from being near his teammates with early ultimates. You know what? I'm joining the Church of Green Creature. I'm joining the Moss Stomper Church. I think that sounds good. If I'm proven wrong, then sure. But...
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Okay, so I'm not going to pull up my timer because we're going to be clearing on, like,
30 seconds.
synced with the actual in-game time. Should not be using my, I'm not clicking very well. Oh my god, no, you can't. I actually do need that thing. Where the fuck is it? Oh my god. Alright, whatever. We'll do it again, okay? Shall we? We'll do it one more time. I mean, the clear still looks quite good. Let's do this.
If you hide in the shadows, you are drawing me home.
I just accidentally blasted the small wolf for too long. Try not to spend my knee. I mean, the clear is still quite good, guys. Like, it's not, like, supersonic because I fucked it up. Hey, stop that. Stop soft resetting. I wonder if we can do some like abuse of soft resetting. Okay, that was really poor. That was abysmally played, and I don't want to look at it anymore. We're gonna try again. We're gonna bring back the timer. We're gonna get my frame rate like unstuck from 60 FPS. Okay. Boop. I gotta clean this up, guys. I gotta clean this up.
Minions have spawned.
I offer redemption.
I really had no idea if my pet would actually shoot. What does this do again? Yeah, whatever.
Death will end your agony.
Oh god, this one.
Be redeemed in the flames.
Blammo. It is slower. Well, I mean, I wasted some time there too, but I mean, this is a very functional jungle clear. Like, it's real. You can probably play Urgot jungle. It's just, what does it do? Good clearing is not the only thing a jungler can do, right? What does it do? Who is it good into?
I merely refuse to die.
Glacial moment? Hell no. I do not want to run Glacial Urgot, thank you very much.
Enjoy this final moment.
Support Urgot doesn't run Glacial either, does he? Like, not when I play it, usually. I've done Guardian, I've done PTA, I haven't done Predator yet. Sounds like kind of meh. I think PTA is just the best one, no? I guess I can't know for sure. I'm gonna try to speed this up a little bit just by not over-optimizing my fucking Raptors and screwing everything up. Or my Krugs, I mean. I lost some speed there. I gotta stop using that, to be honest. See, my conversion from Krugs to Raptors is poor because of how I'm spending my Q. Like, what is my fucking creature doing? I don't get how it's jumping and moving, like... Okay, let's just, you know what? I'm going to do a Kale clear as a courtesy to Zolo, but I think my brain is a little bit tired and I need to take a rest. And... yeah. If I don't do that, then I'm not going to absorb any new information about the jungle, unfortunately, so... we will do this for Zolo's sake, but then that's it.
They shall tremble at my perfection.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care to optimize my runes right now. First of all, Zolo, I do have to ask why you want to play this. I don't get trying to play Kale in a role that stunts her XP.
As evil grows, so shall I.
Just read this again. I guess the slow is pretty good, isn't it? Yeah.
Grant me the strength to forge my
The
blade
summoner's rift.
beyond one.
Minions have spawned.
I definitely should have started E.
Seconds until minions spawn.
Brain is tired. Oh, no wonder my brain is tired. Oh, shit, guys. Guys. I had a bad night. I got 5 hours of sleep. I'm like, wow, why does it feel like I'm not doing very well right now? Like, oh. That's why.
The
Like,
moment justice bends, it breaks.
that was a very poor auto reset.
Only the divine may judge.
I just took that for movement between camps. I figured that would probably be faster and better. Well, it works. Like, it does work. I'm clearing fine.
To withhold
I think there's a Graves in this bush. And now I'm dead, but it does work.
on wings of fire, hope ascends. Heal by fire.
Maybe it's correct to be smiting a lot more. What do you guys think? Should we be using like 2 smites on normal camps on first clear? Like, does the scuttle matter that much? Like, actually, if we know we're opposite sides, yeah, we should every time. That was a 340. That's very poor.
Flame purified.
I mean, it works. Yeah, I mean, you can clear this. Maybe I should be smiting a lot more. If I do leash plus 2 smite, then I'm way faster than 340. Or even just leash plus a 1 smite. Fuck, man. I gotta do some thinking now. But I can't do any more thinking. Does anybody have anything else they need to talk about before we go offline? Like, just any last minute brain exhaustion things? How was my day? My day was good. My day was good. I got some work done that I had to do. Well, it was as good as a day that is stunted by a lack of sleep can be, right? Yeah, so the plan, guys, is the schedule got posted today. The plan is Baba tomorrow, Baba Friday. Maybe, if I'm lucky, that ends Baba. I could do, like, I could come back for, like, some custom levels and stuff later, but maybe it won't. Who knows? And then we probably have some, like, league stuff coming up on the weekend. It's a bit TBD right now, but I'm looking to get some footage for my front-to-back video. Yeah, so that's part of the plan. My brain is really tired, guys. I just tried to theory craft things for like 4 hours, but we were working on a wrong, like our hypothesis wasn't right on the jungle stuff, and it's kind of hard to recover from there. So, so I need practical experience. So I will be doing my best to get some practical experience over the coming days. Maybe I'll just play some norms with friends and stuff like that. Okay, thank you so much for doing the patch note rundown with me, everybody. I really appreciate that you were here, solving problems alongside me, and trying to figure out what exactly is going on. And I will see you all next time. Don't forget to love yourselves, respect each other. See you later. Bye-bye, everyone.